Straight out of Compton, crazy mother named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellers with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a sold off. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you with me, the police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the pump mother, it's going out.
Hello.
So much.
Welcome to the final episode of Top 5. Look at this. Save the best till last. Unbelievable. Tonight, we have the lovely Georgina and we have the lovely Stephanie. Look at this. How are you, girls?
Good.
Yeah, good. Very good.
So, I'll ask you a question that I ask everybody that comes on Top 5. How easy was it? Easy. Wanted to make your Top 5 and your honourable mention. Easy. No messing, right?
No.
Stressful.
Palms
palms sweating.
Everything has a meaning. So I was just like, well, I can't do everything. I've got to try and narrow this down.
I'm not sure this. Do you know what I mean? So how did you come up with your... I'll start with you, George. How did you come up with your Top 5? Did you go through emotion or nostalgia, or how did you do it?
Yeah, all of the above. All of the above, definitely. Yeah. It's quite tricky as well because there are some things that I haven't sort of revealed before either, or haven't been posted, or haven't been previously shown. So which might be a bit different. But
did you go through that too? When you think, well, I've been on other things and I've shown this and I've shown that.
Yeah. I don't want to be too repetitive. There might be a little repeat on something, but
no, a lot of people have it. What are your favourites? What about you, Steph?
Yeah, mine was the stories behind them, things that sort of give me that warm, fuzzy feeling when I look at it. I'm like, oh yeah, I remember when that happened, or oh yeah, I remember like what that links to, and so that's how I managed to narrow it down eventually.
It sounds like I say this on every show, but I mean it. I said it to Luke and Scott on Monday. I always look at the stuff that I've got really like a song. It's, when you start collectors like we do, you go through stuff and you remember where you were and who you were with, or if it was a gift or what year it was, that kind of thing.
Exactly.
So I must say your new room's looking pretty snazzy in there, isn't it?
It's getting full already, though. Look at it.
Just make a bigger second, so just have a look at that. Look at that. That's looking awesome.
It's getting there. It's getting there. I mean, it's looking a bit sterile at the moment. I think where
aren't we all?
Where the white shelves are, I might put some like vines or I don't know, something a bit more colourful to.
I a bit girly. You got a bit girly.
My
daughter in a room, she has all the stuff, and then she has vines with lights that come down, and it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, that's really nice.
Pretty. I'm just squatting at the moment, so.
We will get you your room.
That bailiff she's married to is going to come in. Out. You know what I mean? So, do you have a section in your household, George? I mean, do you have like a? Do you know what I mean? Where you put your stuff, or how does it work?
Yeah, not really. I mean, my stuff's all around the telly in the living room, but it's still a little bit itty bitty all over the place. Anywhere I can fit it down the hallway, in the lounge. So I haven't got actually one particular space. It's like, there's a bit of room and he hasn't taken it yet. I'll have that.
Nick to the fridge.
That'll do.
Brilliant. Let's have a look. Is it Kieran's here? Michael Reed. Look, I like morning for you. I'm in Australia. Up and ready. Our desk. Good evening, everyone. If either Georgie says Stu or Steph says Martin as their honourable mention, they're in for a long night. No pun intended. Palps is here. Wow, it's getting packed in here. Someone you might know. Evening to my 3 favourite ladies. Very good, like that. Yeah, very nice. Stu, I told in the chat. Keith Knight is here. Wow, Palps is here. I've said Palps. Let's just get down here a bit. Op is here. All right, Ops. Evening, Shabby, Georgie, Stephanie, and all. Do you like being called Georgie or Georgina or Steph or Stephanie? Which is your favourites?
Steph.
I get called all sorts. I've got a friend that can only do one syllable for G. But yeah, my mum used to call me just sort of George, and I used to be called George, but I somehow morphed into Georgie, and it was like
Georgie.
It was a new beginning. So for me, that's kind of what stuck really.
Steph Georgie. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Should start a band. Steph Georgie. You know what I mean?
There you go.
John McGuire's here, right? Johnny Boy, Cat Knight's here. Wow, we're getting packed. Good old Rob. We talked about Rob before. There he is. Hello, Rob. Good old Rob. See
Don't get worried when we're talking about Rob.
Yeah.
Shows your muscles.
Wait. Oh, I can't move.
Oh, Shabby. Oh, the guns.
Sorry. Where's the stuff,
Steady
Shabby?
on.
It's over there. Brilliant.
Oh, dear.
Manga Fandango. Good old size here. Your favourite. What is it about this fella that makes him like? Because you all swoon, you lot. You all swoon. And John Lee, the gasps that I heard, I thought, what the?
Delvian's brill. Absolutely
he's just
brill.
fantastic. Just so funny. Just such a good time when he's around. It's just, yeah, he's great.
I asked Scott this on Monday, girls, and it's funny because I've seen people like Delvian and Scott and Palps for years and Des before they said something, and Scott turned around and said one of the reasons, he said he'd sit there for ages thinking, oh, should I just write hello or whatever, and he said when he did, it was so welcome, it's the best thing he ever did. Did you two feel like when you first went to conventions and met, because it's easy you lads doing this and it's easy everyone getting to know Martin and Stu and so forth, but I've got to be honest here now, I think the way you two are in this community, you're not just the wives of your husband, it's Georgie and Steph. Do you see what I mean? That's the way I've always looked at you both. But was it easy for you two to get into all this and be part of it, if you will?
Quite scary.
It is, isn't it? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because like you say, you kind of feel like, oh, you're going to get eye rolled. Oh, the wives are here. It's no longer, it's no longer lads,
Yeah.
So I think it was.
What's she here for?
Exactly. Oh, we can't swear or say stuff now. Of course he can, for goodness sake.
The tag her on there.
Yeah, exactly. Brilliant. So, well, I think Martin did a live, and he said, "Oh, why don't you go in the chat and say hi to everyone?" Because by this point, I've been watching quite a bit. And I was like, oh no, I'm scared they don't want me there. No one will know who I am. And like I say, everyone's just so welcoming. Everyone said hi, and the rest is history, really. And it's the same at the conventions. Just everyone just greets you as part of the gang. It's fantastic.
Yeah. You feel the same way, George?
Yeah, definitely. It's I remember a little story the first time I met Matt, actually, Zero Hunter. He might not remember this because he didn't actually talk to me.
Shocker.
Because
I'm so shocked.
Weirdly, you might even remember this. It was at Sandown. I remember it vividly, and I'd seen a little willow figure, and I thought, oh, I quite fancy that. So I went off, told Stu, I said, oh, I've seen this up here. What do you think? And anyway, with that, I saw him walk up. We hadn't met him at all at that point, either of us. And he walked up and he bought it. And I said, oh, he's just bought what I was after. Oh, well, never mind. And anyway, I was standing next to Stu and he sort of introduced himself. I said, oh, hello. And literally I just stood there while they chatted.
Yeah,
and then he went, oh, well, bye then. Because I hadn't really met anybody. I think we met Tim from Bosk's Bounty just the once at Sandown. And he was lovely and really easy to talk to from the get-go. But yeah, just everybody's got different personalities, and so now I'm just like, this is me, whatever. Hi, Delvian got a huge hug the first time that we ever met him. He was like, oh, hello, all right then. But that's just how I am. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just going to be me, and then that's that. I'm not just going to stand.
It's the best way to be, though, as well. And I think we're quite lucky in that sense, because I agree with you 100%. Everyone's got a completely different personality, everybody. But for some reason, in our little band, if you will, it works. It completely works, And I think because you get your quiet ones, but they're your quiet ones. Not as loud as obnoxious as a Shabby geek or something, you know what I mean? But the quiet ones fit in just as well. They're, you know what I mean? Everyone's got a part to play, if you will. So
I have quite a nice mix together.
Yeah, I think so, to tell you the truth. Yeah. And I can see it as well, because it's like I say, I've said this to the lads a few times. Obviously, I'm not going to NEC and I'm not going to Echo, all these toy fairs, but I am there because the way you lot share it. And it's weird, when you see all these people, and they're all starting to meet up now, and everyone's having a beer and they're laughing. You look at these pictures. I love those pictures. I love them. It makes you feel like a proud dad at Christmas nativity. Well grown up plastic. You know what I mean? Bob
Yeah,
Bob
it's
says,
great.
my top 5 is my dog, my other dog, the beer I currently have, my Amazon box, and the crumbs from my last biscuit. Do you agree with that? Is that
It's not a bad
Crumbs.
list.
I've just started watching this guy, right? So
Yes.
Rachel Bunga, sorry,
Yeah.
he's Nicky's called, isn't he? And he's been coming into our streams, whatever. And I thought, you know what? I'll give this. I saw him on Stews, and Si said, "Watch him on Stews, man. He's a really nice fella."
Yeah.
So I watched him on Stews, and I thought, right. And I didn't realize he had a channel, so I went to his channel, and I've seen everybody on it. I've seen Berry on it, I've seen Georgie on it, I've seen Stu on it, and what a nice guy he is. So thanks again for coming in. Yeah,
he is.
what a really
He's absolutely
Yeah.
lovely.
Lovely
I'm all
energy.
for them sort of videos, positivity and having a good time and a good laugh. I'm all for him. So yeah, brilliant.
And
I
you
hope
also
we see-
include people's he's also including people's, channels and stuff when you bump into him or anything,
Yeah.
he'll always put those up on the screen, which is really nice.
I think that's nice. VTR does that as well when he goes to these vending places and he's that's a lovely thing to do. I hope we see some ET goodness. I can't wait to see what YouTube got. The funniest thing about it as well is you're trying you know the people. It's the same as Tub Thumpers in this circumstance where people will come on and you have a thing up here where they're going to show that and they show something completely different. And I'm like, wow, so I can't wait to see what your top 5 is. Gap's here. Gaz is here. Let's go down a bit more. We've got nearly 50 people in already, but no pressure, ladies. You'll be all right. You'll be all right. Georgie's going to sing us out. I know that. So no. So what in the top 5 will the Hoover be? Oh, a bit sexist that, George. A bit sexist that, George. Remember, you've got to meet up with these girls. They'll give you a black eye, blooming aching. Have a look. Steph, make it look more girly by having some gem dolls and ponies. See, there's always someone in there. I tell you what, though, I did it this
loan
morning.
you some.
So Barbie this morning, I was talking to the lads. I showed it on ZSR as well. Barbie this morning did a 40th anniversary She-Ra for what is it? And you only can get it through Mattel Creations, and it was $55. And I thought, oh, it's a bit. I don't collect Barbies, whatever, but I got it, and I'm glad I did. It sold out in about 7 minutes, completely sold out. Because the last one, I think they did one at a San Diego Comic Con for years back, and you can't get that less for $350. So I thought, if I buy that, I'll give it one of my girls, whatever. I'm not going to give it one of my girls. I'm going to keep it. I'm just trying that tough, I can't believe it. 7 minutes, it was sold out. So, did you ever do that when you were kids? Because I've got 2 daughters in my house, ladies, and they were never really into girly toys ever. I think the only thing I can remember girly is I remember Suki having a tea set. I think my mum got her this little tea set, and she loved that tea set when she was a kid. And then she got a little bit into Monster High, the Monster High dolls. But apart from that, my Lucy, my daughter, still collects Jurassic Park to this day. She likes the dinosaurs, and they're always actually. How were you two? Was it strictly girls' toys, and did you not care?
It was girls' toys.
Was it?
Yeah. I played with some of my brother's Warhammer, but and the turtle stuff, but no, it was kind of just what I was given. It was just here's the ponies, here's the Barbies, here's Polly Pocket, so go and play, sort of thing. So
it's the stuff that your mum and dad got you basically, and it was all girly
basically,
stuff, and you went like that, right? Well, yeah, that makes sense. What about you, Georgie?
Oh, I dipped into all sorts of bits and pieces. I did have some girly bits. I had my ponies, my strawberry shortcakes, and my Care Bears. I think that took care of the girly part. Yeah. And then I really liked my action men. I love Big Track. Big Track went everywhere.
Yeah.
But Big Track never took that apple to my dad like it did on the freaking advert for that bloke. And it did my head in.
Trying to put the code in.
Oh, just would not do it. But no, I loved action men. Yeah, I don't know why. Tanks and all that sort of stuff. And I did have some Star Wars. I had my AT-ST and AT-AT, yeah. So I had quite a bit of that sort of stuff.
So a mixture of both, because that's the way I look at it. When I talk about the gem and whatever, it's not as if I was a kid playing with them. It's the nostalgia for me. I remember them images and I remember the thing. And, I think most of us, when you get to our age, that's what it's done it. What it's, oh, I remember that. Yeah. Now, I'd love to have that again, and that kind of thing. TJC says, Steph, if you need any help with girly stuff, I'm sure Shabby has some spare dolls. You see what I mean? Charming. I am Mudhorn. Nice to see you, pal. Hello, Q. Good old Ricardo's here. Hey, Shabby, Lady Steph, and George. Lady Steph, where did this Lady Steph come from? This Lady Steph.
Salacious.
How did you get involved with him? I've got to admit, when you say, I'm nervous, I'm coming on and so forth, I'm like, you're on rums. How did you get nervous anywhere else? How did you get involved in that?
It was the Lego studs. I just really enjoyed I was thinking about building Lego again. Yeah. This will sort of come up a bit later, but yeah, just I just started watching the Lego studs on a Sunday. Just thought it was really, really funny. Wanted to build, so I thought, oh, maybe I could try
Well, for
that.
you, your hobby, that makes sense, to tell you the truth, to do that. I think it should be a test, that. I think anyone who's new and nervous, they should go on Rum's channel, because if you can put up with Rum, you're all right, aren't you? You can do anything.
Like a baptism of fire, that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Ladies, girls here. Hey all, hey Shabby, hey Georgie, hey Steph. Got friends around. Oh, sorry, mate. So can't stop, but I'll be on in the background. Oh, he's serving hors d'oeuvres and stuff. Have a vol au vent. Oh, thank you. I do. Awesome. Oh, Delvian says, oh, you're brill too. But do you see how cool he was when he said it? It wasn't like, oh, you're so special. And it's like, you're brill. You know what I mean?
Smooth.
Playing it cool, playing it
yeah.
smooth. Nice to have Kat join us tonight. Probably because Shabby put in the right time. Oh, I tell you what. They don't forget a thing, these lads do, Georgie. Eh? Don't forget a thing.
No.
Oh,
But I think because Kat's 2 hours behind me, I know that. So Kat's actually 5 hours behind you. I mean, no, 7 hours behind you.
7. Wow, yeah.
Yeah, because I'm East Coast. And I know where, I'm not going to say where Kat is just in case, but I know where Kat is. And then obviously there's the other one as well. That's the one where Kat lives in Thousands Ghosts and so forth. And Jeff, because you don't remember the 2 hour one, it's always East Coast, West Coast. So you do the 3 hours. Do you see what I mean? But with them, no doubt it won't be the only time she can't make it. She'll probably come on again, won't she? Definitely.
I'm sure.
yeah.
Let's have a look. Charles with Jason. Have you seen his new haircut, girls?
Oh, no.
No.
Oh, right. So I'll give you some behind. No one's watching, so I might as well just tell you about. So he comes on and he's got a new haircut, beard's gone. I'm like, who is she? Who is she? Who's this girl? Because it's looking very smart. You know what I mean? There he is, morning or wait, evening or. Hiya, Jason. Super awesome. Hey. Did you have a good time with him in Disney?
Oh, it was such a good day. Such an amazing time with John. Just so much fun. Yeah, just chatting the whole time. Just so good.
Did he rip his pants, or did you not see as much as John as what I've seen?
No.
Do you not know that story?
No.
He ripped his pants at Joe Fest. He went the whole back end. I tell you, I saw a lot more John. So his subscribers went up.
Oh, dear.
He's a lovely bloke, isn't he, John? Yeah, he is somebody as well that it's exactly what it says on the tin, isn't it? John's exactly the same person. How was London for you both? Now I've asked your fellas on. They won a couple of weeks ago. How was it for you? Because I know the story and that Royal Albert Hall thing. That what a gift that was. That was awesome.
That's incredible.
How was
so
it?
amazing.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
I mean, that I say little girl, but the young lady that played that organ was just phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal. And the sound that and the volume in there was it did get sort of quite deafening up until one point, but the old tears trickled a little bit when they played the ET theme, because they played the whole thing from the escape, the kids from the escape, all the way to the end, to the spaceship taking off, not just the flight. So, and I was gone.
That music gets you though, doesn't it? It really does.
Yeah.
And to hear it, I've never heard any film done as an organ. Andy said it, and Josh saw John Williams at Star Wars Celebration, and Andy's been a few times. And I would love to hear that sound, because you get emotional here. Could you imagine hearing it like that in the Royal Albert Hall?
There's nothing like a live orchestra. It's incredible.
And is he good at keeping this? Because you didn't know either, Georgie, or did you know?
Well, I'd sort of done a little bit of research and I'd guessed, and he said, no, you're completely wrong. But actually, I was right in the end. But I didn't know what we were doing on the day, because he said I was wrong. So, but yeah, he did so well right to the final hurdle.
Not me. Yeah. No chance you would have known a minute. I'm useless for that. Kingston says, I agree, Matt Zero Hunter is a big jerk. I'm kidding, of course. Palp says, I'm a quiet one. Unless I play Call of Duty, then I'm a raving psycho. He proper is a raving psycho. Never known anything like it in my life. What happened to him? Do you know what I mean? It's like we played that World War II game on Sunday. And everyone's got like 10 kills, 7, all that, fair enough. Palps, 40 kills. You're like, what's the matter with him? What's going on?
Video games bring out that side in people, I find.
Just him, I tell you what. Nasty as well, he's always got me for a target. He's probably, I'm sick of watching this pillock every week. I'll have him on these games. You know what I mean? Let's have a look at everybody else here before we get to it. So, G-Force is here. Hello, G-Force. Gem Barbies, I see a punch. No, it's just a one-off, Gab. It's just one off. But I wasn't going to do it. I thought, no, but I thought, no, but I collect Masters of the Universe. And I thought, why not? So I thought, yeah, I'll have a go at that. And I'm glad I did. Like I said, it sold out. But I think it's what they were saying. I watched the thing on it, and they said the Barbie collectors, which is rare for me. I didn't really know this, and I didn't understand it because I don't collect Barbies. But apparently, Barbie collectors outweigh us all. They go all out.
Yeah.
And if you think about it, they've been going since 1955. It kind of makes sense that why Barbie would be the big thing. And apparently, even we talk about Masters Universe at Mattel and Hot Wheels and so forth, but Barbie outdoes everything every year. So what they said was, you want to try and jump in on that, because not only are the Masters Universe fans trying to get that, but so are the Barbie fans, and they'll go all out. So I thought, fair enough. But did you ever collect Barbies? Was Barbies ever a thing to collect?
Yeah, for me it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I did. I didn't know.
Because I watched a few people online that got Barbie collections, and I'm a person. I'm fascinated by what people collect and what they have, and so. And some of these Barbie collections, they're like, wow, man, and how they've kept them all in boxes since the 50s and 60s and all that kind of thing. But you had a collection of them, did you?
Yeah, but they were all played with. They were, proper toys. But yeah, I did have quite a few of them. I just loved all that. So it's all the fashion, all the big dresses and everything, how they look. Yeah.
I just loved all that. Sounds brilliant, Steph. Brilliant. Oi, I can't believe. Wow, everyone's come to see the girls tonight. Oh, Georgie loves Action Man. Is that why she fell for Stu? Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, he's a handsome bloke. Stu's got a lovely face. PGM's here. Good morning and evening, all. Hey, Shabby, Steph, and Georgie. Hello, PGM. Nice to see you here. Big Track is awesome. I have that one on the dump part. Yeah, the only person I know that's relatively got it now is Tez. Tez has got a Big Track, hasn't he? So, do you remember?
Because they re-released it. They re-released it, didn't they? Has he got the original?
Yeah, he's got the original. Do you remember it, Steph? The Big Track. You're younger than us, I suppose, Steph. You're probably like, what these dodgy old bastards are talking about. But it was a cool thing, right? And it had these numbers on the back of it, didn't it, Georgie? And you put a code in, wouldn't you? Yeah. You missed out there, Steph. Missed out.
Cheap radio control. You had to put coordinates into where you wanted it to go, and then off it went. And if you were lucky, it went to where you wanted it to.
Yeah,
I'll have to Google that one.
Yeah, I remember they had a trailer thing for the back of it, and they put like a can of soda or an apple in it, and then the advert would be taking it to your dad. That's what Georgie meant by taking it to your dad. So.
And he was just sat in the armchair, and he'd reach down and pick up whatever it had delivered.
Yeah, just like I need one, especially at my age. I probably got just as many Gem dolls as Shabs. Not as many. No, I'm a big fan. Maybe bigger. Been watching Gem and the Hologram. It was cool. It's like I said, I've told you this story before, so I won't go on about it. It was just that we had a department store right on the seafront in Blackpool, right next to Blackpool Tower, called Lewis's, and you had this huge window that went round like that, and it was a big window. And every Christmas they'd do like a big toy scene, so Star Wars was in there, and they said it. Now, if I look back now, it's probably the piece of cardboard with a figure on it, whatever. But and the other one was Gem and the Holograms, and it's weird because I'm 49. And it's just a memory I've had since I was about 10, 11. It's very vivid. This, so I was always a big fan of it. I thought that's super cool. And I was at Joe Fest a couple of years ago. I was going to get into some of the boxed vintage ones, but whoa, they're like 350. They're really, really expensive. Scuba Pete found me a couple of vintage at the Antique Mall this year. Nice. But then when the new Gem came out, I got it. And then meeting her as well. She's such a nice lady, Samantha Newick. That was awesome meeting her and so forth. And obviously, she likes me so much, she's coming back this year. So
of course.
I had the Gem annual when I was a kid, and I actually found it on eBay the other day for £30. Yeah. But then it was sold when I went back. I was like, oh, actually, you know what? I might get it, because I was looking at all the pictures. I was like, oh, I just really, really remember that image and that image. And yeah, it was gone. I was like, for £30, I should get that. But no, it was gone.
Listen, I'm just going to be a bit quiet. Can you change that £30 to like £3? Because TJC got me that annual, and I don't want him to know how much it was. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, it was £3.
Yeah. No, what TJC just said, hang on a minute, how much is that? You know what I mean? Really, TJC found it for me, which is awesome. He's sending it over, amazing. So that's brilliant. Small side point, Shabby. You may like Georgie a bit less when she sees shooting you in the face on Call of Duty. Yeah, I've heard, Georgie, that you want to be part of the video game gang.
Well, yeah. Do you know, I always was a PlayStation
Well, yeah.
PlayStation girl. Yeah, always had PlayStations. I actually sold not so long ago, like an old PS. I think we both had a couple of PS2s, maybe a PS1, just got shot. We got the Xbox One quite a while ago, and that's sort of how it stayed. And we haven't really picked that up. But when years ago, I used to play like Call of Duty and all that. I used to play that all the time online, all the time, to the point I could tell you every nook and cranny that I'd always hide in or sit and snipe.
Georgie, it surprises me.
Yeah. So I'm like, oof, I might just get a little one on the second-hand market, maybe.
I used to like it as a kid. I was big on football and stuff, so I wasn't really my video games. But I had 3 brothers to play with, so it was awesome. I always, we always have leagues on the football games or Tekken. I'd always get hammered off my brothers playing Tekken, that kind. But I've got one in. I've just really left it. Do you know what I mean? And then TJC and Sai set up this thing where she'll play Battlefront, and more people have joined. And it's fun. It really is and it's funny. So because
it's really fun watching you guys.
The idiots, But I know Grand Theft Auto 6 is coming next year, so no one will be making YouTube next year.
No,
we'll just all be playing that, So, but yeah, I said to Martin this morning, just get a PlayStation 4, and he was like, "Oh," and because I'm playing on the PlayStation 4, and most of these games that you've just mentioned, George, like the World War II, they're all compatible with both of them. So
so I was looking on. We got a store over here called CEX, and they do a lot of secondhand stuff, but they do like a 5-year warranty on them, and they're about between 100 and 130. So it's not too bad. That's where I'm looking at the moment. Yeah, it's only for about 500. I might do the 1 terabyte, goes a bit higher, but
and the games we're playing as well, they're not expensive now. They're like $5-10 if that. Palpatine said it worked for me. I was nervous, and then I went on Mums. The rest is history. There you go. Good old Mum. I love when Shabby has the ladies on. He turns into such a little gossip. The ladies next door, you won't believe what she's there.
Spill the tea, Shabby.
I'll tell you anything. I don't care. It was a lot of fun meeting Martin and Steph. Such a good time at Disneyland. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Let's have a look. How you doing? So PGM's here. We've said hello to PGM. I'd put Nirvana up against a live orchestra. I think that's aimed at your Martin, I think.
Yeah.
He doesn't like him, does he not? Is he not a fan of Nirvana?
No, he doesn't. I don't really know where this has come from, but no, he doesn't for some reason. I like Nirvana.
Super Awesome says, I've seen John Williams' concert and I feel it on every song. Superman thing gets me just as much as the Star Wars and the rest. Yeah. To me, it's Leia's theme. Always gets me. I don't know what it is about Leia's theme. I think it's done like the ET one, the build up and the build down and the build up. You know what I mean? I think, have you heard me like I'm some sort of opera singer? I don't know, but it's just like the way you literally feel the music with a live. I bet you do, Mr. B, like I said. So when, like I said, when we had Martin and Stu and they were telling me the story, I was like, wow, I bet everybody, what a great experience that was. So, but I'm surprised, you don't go to London as much. I'd never leave if I was there. It's love it to pieces. You'd end up in tears because of the music and the memories they bring forward. Yeah. I was waiting, Martin. So Super Awesome, don't be ashamed of getting the Barbie either. Thanks, John. Cheers. Look at John sticking up for me here. I've got a space Barbie because it's space themed and I like all things out of space. But I would put Barbies and My Little Ponies up there with your G.I. Joes and your Masters. I mean, they're so iconic and they're so big. I'd definitely put it up there with them. I'd really tried to get the Star Wars Barbie, but they sold out so fast. Yeah, I know Hawkspot's wife's got more. She's got every one of them, and even they went shut up. My wife looks like Kimora Lee Simmons. She looks exactly like, and they made a Kimora Lee Simmons doll a few years back. And so I bought it for her and so forth. And even that's gone up to like $400-500 now. It's crazy. I never, because I'm not a Barbie fan, I never would have assumed, It's not like an A-Wing or something like that, Georgie, that's pricey. I'm just saying. I play with my sister's Barbies and gave them all haircuts. I saw the CBSO in Birmingham play live to the Jaws movie. They muted the movie music, but the track also had some great sound effects on it. So when the shark blew up, spoilers, there was no boom. Talking about Jaws, I'm going to, cheers, Palps, for that. I'm going to have to try and see if I can find this play that you lot have been to, because even Matt went to and he loved it. And I know Darren's been.
Yeah, it finished, I think, it ended its run like the other month, I think, not long after Matt saw it. I think it did a couple more shows because it was it started in the States a few years back, and then it came. They revived it, or he revived it again, did another run, but over in this country. So I just keep an eye out for it.
Did you ever go, Steph? Have you ever been to see it? This Jaws.
No,
thing.
I
What's
haven't
it called,
seen
Georgie?
The shark that broke. The shark is broken. The shark is broken.
The shark is broken. Yeah, because everyone I've heard now they've seen it because you and Stu went. They're all like, it's brilliant, loved it. So
yeah, it was fantastic.
Our Des says it always makes me chuckle with Smithers from The Simpsons and his Malibu Stacy collection. Yeah. Wait, did you just say Stu was an action man?
He doesn't have the blue Y fronts though.
Hello, Adam. Adam Long. Hello. He doesn't have the blue Y.
Well, that's the only reason why I really liked Action Man, not for the buzz cut and the scars and the and all that. I just used to strip them down and see if they had their blue Y fronts on, their blue underpants.
My little sister's Barbies didn't survive very long. They were sacrificed to the greater glory of toy destruction. Sounds like with G-Force just said cutting. You weren't very nice with it to the sister stuff here. God. Definitely not.
Wow.
I will make sure I wear my blue undies, Sags. There you go. That's a nice segue to it.
Winner.
Shabby's wearing a skirt underneath his desk, I bet. Maybe not, PGM. Maybe I'll keep that to your imagination there. I'm ranked at 266 on World War II. Georgie's a sniper. Wow. Yeah, we'll have to get you on, definitely. Let's have a look. Come down here a little bit more. Oh, look who's here as well as somebody else here. Every time you say quitting time, G, I think you're going to slide down a dinosaur. Slide down a dinosaur.
Like the Flintstones.
Oh, unbelievable.
Yeah.
That's what he means, the Flintstones. Yeah. That's what he means. Yeah.
When it's quitting time, yeah.
Mudhunt says, I had Binary Sunset played on a trumpet on the set of stairs at uni way back then. Yeah, I bet that sounded cool. Yeah, definitely. And everyone's saying hello to Adam. So, there's a reason why you're here, ladies. And it's not just for the eye candy. It's just to see what's in your top 5. So, let's get to your honourable mention. Right, let me just grab my pen. Oh, Steph and Georgie. Who would like to go first? Georgie, would you like to go first?
Steph can go first.
Steph. So we'll put Steph up here. Steph, what's your honourable mention, my friend?
So my honourable mention is a group of things because I was going to put them in my top 5, but I couldn't settle on anything. So I thought, actually, I'll put them together as my honourable mentions. I think Si did something similar. It's the items that people in the community have gifted to me because I kind of just can't believe the generosity and the kindness of
Hang on a minute. I know half these lads. Are you sure you want to show what they've sent you? Do you know what I mean? I don't want any...
It's all good. It's all safe.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, there's not too many, but I just want to say thank you so much to everyone who's sent something. It's taken me aback every single time. So thank you so much.
It's weird, isn't it? Because it's like the way I look at that, Steph, is these people are away from you and they're thinking about you. Oh, she'll love this or he'll love this. And take the time out.
And they've taken, like, it's staged that I once said about this thing, like this.
Yeah.
I mentioned this
that's
on
super cool.
Yeah, on Stu's. This was like a holy grail for me because I had this as a kid and I never knew where my one went in the end. And Kieran said, "Oh, I got one in a auction lot. Would you like it?" Actually, no, he didn't. He surprised me with it. And I was just like, "No way! Like what?" And he said, "Yeah, it was in an auction lot. So, you can have it if you like." I'm like, "Oh my God, that's incredible. Thank you so much."
Steph. That's got to be 80s, 90s, that, and it's got to be.
It's got to be 90s, hasn't it? I can't see anything. 1989.
There you go. Yeah. Wow.
So, and I will build it. I just still haven't got around to it because life's kind of taken over this year, but I am going to build it.
Are you going to do like a setup of Sylvanian families and so forth?
Yeah.
Because I know our Helen, lovely Helen, she loves Sylvanian families too and so forth. Yeah.
Yes. And then the lovely Palps did this. He painted.
That's not a gift. He just waited to get rid of it. That's what that is. Do you know what I mean?
But he knows I love Babu Frick. And he said, "Oh, I finished it, and I don't really have a place for it. Would you like it?" So I was like,
Wow.
"Yeah, please. I love Babu Frick." So that's super cool.
That is super cool.
So he sits on my desk.
Well, hang on a minute. So did he make that, Palps?
Palps, if you're in the comments, just clarify. I think he bought the
Laminate.
mold or bought the statue as just a blank statue, and then he's done all the paintwork on it.
Wow.
So it would have come white, and then he's painted it all up. I mean, look at the leather. It looks like real leather. It's so
Yeah,
cool.
he does. He's done a great job on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dark Horse, our pals. You know what I mean? Look at that. Evening, folks. Sorry I'm late. I was teaching Martin how to tie his shoelaces. So there you go. That's.
And then this is amazing. This is from Keith Knight and Cat Knight. They found this in a charity shop, and he thought, "Oh, that's coming with me. I love that." But then he didn't really have any space for it or knew what to do with it. So then he found, I think I went on Stu's thing and I said I was into Sylvanians. And he said, "Well, I've got this car. Could you make of any use for it?" So I was like, "Yeah, that's amazing." So I put the little rabbit family in. Yes.
That's brilliant.
Very cool.
So that's awesome.
And these are
then I
things
have
that are
it-
right down your alley as well. These are things that you're going to love and enjoy. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's in my display cabinet. And he completely surprised me with this. I think it was Echo Base Live. And it's PC Badger Sylvanian vintage. So I put him with the car as a little scene in my display cabinet.
Yeah.
And so like he's doing a traffic stop. I need to get some like background for them because at the moment it's all just a glass backing. It's in this black case here. So I need to get some backing, like some foliage or
Awesome,
something.
Steph. Awesome. Mr. B says, "I like to think we treat each other like we do, though, don't we? It's funny that, isn't it? It is funny the way we look after each other in that circumstance. Yeah.
Yeah. And then very quickly, me and Emma, we sort of collect the blind bag sort of babies every now and again. And we kind of swap doubles. So she gave me the doubles. And then of course, Anne-Marie gave me a bag of sort of odds and ends for my miniatures.
Yeah.
So like little books, little buckets, mops, things like that I can dress the miniatures with, which again
Awesome.
was just utterly incredible. Like when Si said, "Oh, I've got something for you," and he brought out this little bag, and I was like,
Said that to you, to be honest. I would have like, taken a step back if he said, "I've got something for you."
I just couldn't put it. I was just so touched that she'd seen my stuff on Instagram and then just surprised me with this. So I was just like, "Oh my God, thank you so much. That's so lovely of you guys."
I'm not shocked that my mum did that. Not shocked at all. That's the sort of person she definitely is. So that's
She's
awesome.
so lovely. Yeah. And then there's Si's picture on the wall. I won't turn the camera because it will reveal everything, but it's just right next to me, just up there. I know we commissioned it, but I kind of see it as part of the community sort of bits and bobs as well. So
yeah, I watched
today
I watched
I'm
the
my own
progress of that.
mentions.
It was showing me, and I was like, "Wow, man, that's unbelievable." You got
so
the dogs in
cool.
it and the gold.
Yeah.
And it's funny, our side doing a gold because his signature is usually black or black and white or red. He'll add a bit of red in. So to do that, you know, that I wonder if our side's ever done gold before. I don't think he has. So.
Ooh, special.
So it could be a one-off that. Pulp says, "No, I bought a 3D print and painted it." Wow, he made that. That's really, really cool. That's awesome. That's awesome. So it is, though, isn't it? Georgie, do you think that as well? When you think about I've done, I mean, the stuff I've been sent over 5 years, it's just ridiculous to me. Ridiculous, you know?
Yeah, completely.
So I can't shut the France up. And it's weird because the people send stuff and I'm like, I don't know what to say. Because you don't want to go overboard either, like, oh, you know, but
No. It's I mean, I've been sent quite a few things, and it would have been, I think, a bit like Stu, too hard to differentiate and say, "Oh, thank you for this," and then without thanking somebody else and things. So everybody that has sent me stuff has just been amazing. And even though when Stu asks me, you know, "What do you want for birthday? What do you want for Christmas?" and he needs ideas and stuff, and yet the community is sending me things, and I'm like, "Oh wow, this is amazing," you know. And they just off the bat have bought stuff. I'm like, "Oh," and he's like, "Oh, okay."
And of course, I forgot about my Thistledew.
Yes,
the Thistledew.
The gift of them all, isn't it? That the thistle. I was made up. I told you that story before where. I was seeing everyone getting there because it's Star Wars stickers, and I'm like, "What the France? I've got to have one of them." And all that. And Des sent me this picture of him at the pillar box posting it. So obviously, I put Postman Pat music behind it and showed it on a live stream. And I'm not going to let that go, you know. But yeah, stuff like that in it, even the little stickers and But yeah, some of
Yeah.
the gifts that we've all been received or we all
Yeah.
get, and you are right. I always make sure, girls, that I don't deliberately say something like I'm asking for something. I would hate people to think, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so,
Exactly.
but you mention one thing as we're all talking, and then like
Yeah.
you just said, then someone will think, oh, I know someone who's got that, or I can get that for you,
Yeah.
and so, and then
Or
to
if you're
send
just
it.
out shopping, like when we were in Florida and we were in that antiques mall, and we came across all those movie things, and I was like, oh, James Bond VTR would actually might like that. You know,
Yeah.
Martin, get on. You know, ask VTR if he wants this. And then I saw a GI Joe thing, and I was like, oh, Martin, does anyone want that? So yeah, even when you're out and about, you're like, oh, I'm sure someone is looking for that or would like that. And yeah, it's crazy.
And it just because when they're in your rooms as well, you just think, I know exactly where that's come from, and you know, it's
Yeah.
like when BTR sent me that Action Man, I didn't know what to say. That was my last video I ever made. That one when I opened that and did that, and then Bob Breakin was at Joe Fest, so I managed to get it signed as well. You know what I mean? And I thought that's brilliant. So yeah, awesome,
Yeah.
Steph. Awesome honourable mention.
Because they all
Right,
have
Joe.
like little stories behind them, don't they? So yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Well, I don't really have a. Well, I do have a story as such, but this is something that I just couldn't put down as a kid. She's kind of the gift that keeps on giving.
What is that?
This is Saucy Susie.
Oh, I should have known.
Saucy Susie is a 1972 from Mattel. She came to me because we used to help at an American Jumble sale opposite near where I lived when I grew up. So we used to see a lot of stuff that you didn't see in the shops. And I don't know whether she's American only or UK or whatever, but nonetheless, I've not seen her before. I don't know if she's original or anything, but she does all sorts of interesting things with her face. Let me try and get this on camera.
Brilliant. That was brilliant. Oh. Is that a mouth moves as well?
Yeah, the mouth, the eyes. Try and get her there. That's a favourite.
I've met many a girl like that. So.
She's got quite a few different faces. I don't know how saucy she is, to be fair.
I bet that was pricey back then. It must have been with all that.
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the favourite faces.
Oh my God.
Have you ever seen that before? I've never seen that. Have you, Steph?
No.
I've never seen
No,
that.
never.
Yeah,
Awesome.
she's quite quite something, she is.
I knew this was going to
I'll
be a
leave it
good
like
top
that.
5. I knew it. I knew this was going to be a good one. Brilliant.
But although probably not one of my favourite items, it was just something that I just remembered playing with forever. And then my mum just pulled it out of the cupboard the other day, and I thought, oh, I've got to show her. I've got to show her. So yeah.
Were you a big doll fan, like, you know, the tiny tears and all that sort of stuff? Did you get into all that stuff?
Yeah, I think Mum did. But I mean, I had Teddy Ruxpin and Grubby.
Still got mine
I
on
like
there.
more of the teddy
On
bears.
there.
Yeah.
I went into an old flea market. This guy his mum and dad were from Pennsylvania, and they had everything, but like pristine. And this guy wasn't a collector, so I got those Teddy Ruxpins. Even the casino one, you know, the night one, and all, with all the for under $15 each.
Wow.
I know, and he was selling Care Bears for like a $5, and they were from '85, looking pristine, and he just wanted to get rid of it. I think this guy.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Oh, I better not leave her like that. She might get stuck, won't she? But
That's awesome. Are you going to display it then? Now you've got it back.
I don't know. To be honest, it's just having the space again. I mean, because she's quite a large little one. But yeah, we'll see.
What you want to do is when Stu does a stream next, right, at night, when he goes to sleep, clear out all these stuff and put all your stuff in that. That'd be brilliant.
Oh, dear. Bless her. But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
that'd be interesting for it.
Steph, I've got some more bits for you, including PC badges, police box. So you got some more bits coming.
Oh, thanks, Keith.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yes, I do, TJC, and those Sylvanian families brought it back. Yeah, I liked Sylvanian. I never got any, but I remember the advert. Sylvanian
family.
Yeah, it was great. Biker's here. Hello, Dario. So everyone say hello to Bike. And Jace can't wait to give you a big hug for his Funko Pop, Steph. He loves them.
Ah, yeah, we still need to meet up. Yeah.
Gap says that doll scares me. It reminds me of the movie Village of the Damned. Oh, brilliant.
It would be if you went into a room and, you know, the lights are out, you turn the... It's like, oof.
The moving eyes all day. I couldn't believe it did all that. So how many things has he got? About 10. It'll do.
I think
10.
about 8 to 10. Yeah.
I'm not sleeping tonight. Is that Stu's nickname, Georgie? Brilliant. I'd be scared that any minute now it's going to get up and walk down the hall just as scary as hell. They said that about my Pee-wee doll. I had my Pee-wee doll behind me. Or when Kat had her Pennywise doll behind her, do you remember? And everyone was like, what is that behind you?
Your Pee-wee one. Oh, gosh, that was so scary.
I've just got another one, a box one. Scuba Pete found one for me. So, yes, brilliant. Stu, get that thing out of your house at once.
You're not wrong, Des.
Oh, my God, it's Annabelle's baby. I'm Chucky. What a play. They should have called it Cross-Eyed Susie. Saucy Susie. Brilliant. Chucky's psycho. Well, they're not being very nice to your toy here, Georgie, to say the truth. That's a creepy freaking dog. Even Q's toy did. Like, what?
But it was for kids. You know, it's for children. I mean...
Do you even remember Slutty Sharon, but not Saucy Susan? Must have been the second wave. Must have been that. That boss-eyed baby looks a bit stoned. I'm going back for UK Quad Empire Spice Backs B poster cuff. Oh yeah. Oh, that's what he's asking for. So well done. Well done. Yeah.
Sneaky.
I'm having a stroke face, says Biker. Brian's here. Looks like she's having a stroke. Well, there you go. There's two people saying it. I'm Susan. Want to play with knives? I'll tell you, Georgie, you take your time out to come on a show. We'll do this, Georgie, move the arm again, or she'll stay cross.
Yeah, wind will change.
There you are. So get rid of all those Marvel legends, and you'll have room.
True. Yeah.
You ever thought about doing? What do you think he'd get rid of, your fella, if he had to? What do you not like that he collects? And
well, I am getting rid of stuff at the moment. Prequel stuff, isn't it? I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. Yeah. But that's going quite well on Vinted at the moment.
You see, well, that's pretty
#cool. Promotion.
Right, there you go. There's a bit of a plug
there. But yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I wouldn't want him to get rid of anything, really. I mean, there's stuff under the bed in our room that maybe hasn't been out for quite some time, but then he'll swap things out. So I never really know what's looked at and what's not. And
yeah, I'm such my thing outside. I'm really, because I always piss him on about, am I going to do it? But I think I'm never going to put it out again. So I think I'm just going to get rid. So, but it's hard for me because the majority of my lads are in England. And so it's easy for me to do. You can have this for £2 and then they get it, but it's going to be $30 to ship it. I got it. I once dated a cross-eyed girl once. She said it was the worst threesome she's ever had. There you go. Brilliant there. Our 10-year-old granddaughter, says Kat, used the fact that she sleeps in a room with Pennywise to scare her mates and give her street cred. That don't scare me to blooming death. Awesome. Great start, girls. Great start. Let's get to you number 5. George, we've got you on there.
Ooh.
First.
Okay. So I'm going to go with something that started me off collecting.
Oh, right. Okay.
Sort of 1987, 1988. So I was sort of, what was I? 10, 11. And that is Bonzo. Who was a little cartoon character created by Georgie Studdy in the 1920s.
Wow. So how old is that thing then?
So he, I think, I can't remember whether he was 50s. A lot of the stuff came out sort of after. Yeah. When George did the cartoons, he basically created a dog with no name up until sort of 1922. And it was a comic strip sort of dog. And he went down so well and was like, oh, what's he called? So he came up with a name. Bonzo, and he featured in quite a few sort of comic strips and stuff, and there was a whole load of memorabilia with him. He started out rubber, but over the years he's solidified for some reason. But he's one of the cuter ones that I had, and actually featured in. I'm going to do a bit like the back then of Read 5. I was in the Bonzo book that was created, right? And he was featured in it. Oh, let's try and get this out. Somewhere. Yeah, just in here. Oops. So they were putting a book together of all sort of different Bonzos. That rag one there as well, that big dopey looking one, that was mine at the time as well. But there's a lot of things in here that was featured. And this came out in 1988. So yeah, it was just something that I really love collecting because he looked really cute.
I've never heard of it.
Basically, little
Wow.
Bonzo. And then after Bonzo came the sidekick cat called Ulu. I think I've still got one thing at home of Ulu, but yeah, he was just, I suppose, the back then Snoopy, if you like.
Was there a cartoon or was there a book that went with these sort of figures, Georgie, or was it just?
Yeah, so I think it was. I mean, there's a whole load of information that you can like find online.
Right.
That this guy created him. I'm trying to see if there's any actual cartoon pictures. Not actually of him, but those sort of comic strips that you get. And I think he was featured in some of the magazines back then as well.
Ulu. And is it English? Is it an English thing? Did you say? Or
yeah, he was in. I think he lived in London originally, way back then. I can't remember. There's a whole my menopausal brain, like a goldfish. Nice castle is not remembering a lot of information, so I have to write everything down. But yeah, he was. I can't remember. Tooting, I think he lived.
Tooting.
His family. Yeah, there's actually
Ulu.
pictures there. Actually, that was him with his daughter, and yeah.
That's awesome, man.
In the day, yeah. So
Oh,
Bonzo was just something that I collected a lot of, all sorts of
definitely
prints,
learned something
postcards,
tonight. Wow.
yeah,
I didn't-
badges.
Have you ever heard of it, Steph?
No, never seen it, heard of it. That's awesome.
No, that is awesome. Super Awesome says, this is like watching the movie Demonic Toys. I can see all Georgie's toys going on a rampage killing streak. That's Shabby, brilliant. I'm never going to sleep again with these toys in the place. Bloody hell. Do you know what I mean? And I think you're in a bit of trouble as well because you did say prequel stuff and Martin went, prequel stuff? And he says,
God.
no prequels are going. It's mainly all sequels.
Oh, sequels. I did say. Sorry. Brain fog. Yeah.
I know what you mean by that, Reddy. Yeah, those toys are brilliant. PGM says, we had a Bonzo. He was a bit of a clown. Now, do you see what he did there? He took the Bonzo,
There you
go. Maybe Susie Storzy turned Bonzo into stone. Well,
Possibly.
as long as Georgie doesn't have a doll version of you with pins in it, Stu, I'm sure you are safe. Well, you never know what. She's got 4 more to go. You never know. Oh, Jono, he's probably one of the nicer versions of Pennywise that I own. Could you ever own a big doll like that, Steph? Like a Pennywise? No, I don't.
No. No, way too scary.
Yeah, it would be brilliant. I love the historical book, though. Yeah, that was awesome, Georgie. I wouldn't go down to tooting now, says Tony Z. TJC, that would just be a pinhead doll. Anything to do with the 60s pop and is it anything to do with the 60s pop and Bonzo dog?
No, it's not. Because every time I used to search for things, that would always come up. That would always. No, it's quite separate.
Well, awesome. Great blooming start so far. What's your number 5, Steph?
So I collect these things called magic bands. Yay. And they're from Disney.
They're the Disney Park things, right?
Mm-hmm. So they kind of like have your tickets on them. You can put a card on it so you can buy stuff just by swiping this and put a pin in. But this one in particular is my favourite because I just love that design on it.
Make it a bit bigger here, Steph. Hold on, right?
Oh, is it in focus? Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them on the thing. They sell boxes and boxes of them, don't they? You can pick a theme and... Wow.
And so the reason why I like this one is because it was the first Christmas sort of themed Florida holiday, I guess, we went on. And Disney at Christmas is just a whole nother thing. It's just lights everywhere. You've got all the Christmas music playing. Everywhere has its own themed tree and they're absolutely massive. And it really is just magical. So that just really reminds me of that.
Can
holiday.
you reuse them? I don't understand how they are. So it's like is it like a membership card on a watch, if you will, or how does it work? Because I know you can scan them in, but what does it actually...
So you load your tickets onto it. So your tickets will have a barcode number. You type in the app, you type the barcode number in, and then it's linked to your magic band. So yeah, every time you go, you can put your different set of tickets on there.
Right.
And that's how you open your hotel door as well. And then you just put your card on it so you can buy drinks and food and merch with it as well.
So it's just like a card, isn't it? You can fill it up with stuff and all that sort. So next year you can use the same thing again.
Yeah,
Well,
you
that's
can absolutely
impressive.
reuse them. Yeah. And then to go with it, because it's kind of the same sort of thing,
Cool. Lounge flies.
I got this in April 2024 when we went, and it was for the 35th anniversary of Hollywood Studios. And the reason why this one kind of is meaningful is because in April was when we got to know our friend Kiori, and she is a cast member, and she worked in one of the lounges that we went in every night. And on the day of the 35th, we'd gone into Hollywood Studios and they had all these, special merch and stuff. And I saw the bag and I was like, I don't collect lounge fly. This would be my first lounge fly. I've never sort of really gone down this, but I really, really like it. And then I did that sensible thing. I was like, no, leave it. It's too expensive. I don't collect them. It'll just sit wherever. No. And so we just got like some magnets or something. And then we left and we went to the bar where Kiori was. And she was saying, I collect all like the park, because they had a special like park map celebrating the 35th and had a poster inside it and stuff.
Yeah.
And she was like, that would be really nice. And I just kept thinking about the bag and and that night I was like, what's the time? It's 8:00. The park closes at 9. I can make it. I can run from the bar to the park.
Dive through the door.
Kiori and Martin were like, go. So I legged it back. I saw a raccoon on my way, which was my first raccoon. And then
Can't stop now.
can't stop. Everyone's taking pictures of this dang raccoon, and I was like, get out of my way, I've got a bag to get.
Brilliant.
So I ran in, I grabbed Kiori a park map, grabbed my bag, and then legged it back. And so it just really reminds me of that day when Kiori, and just a funny time with us and Kiori. So yeah, that's why my number 5.
Do you think you'll ever is that your only one lounge fly then, or do you think, yeah, big sucker, unbelievable.
I've got about 9 now.
Do you remember that, Georgie, when she said, well, I wasn't really going to go down that line? And the thing is,
I do believe there's a wall somewhere.
There is a wall.
Yes,
there's a wall next door. There is a wall of lounge fly bags.
Just like Zim, wasn't it? I'm just going to get the one hot toy. We were like, yeah, all right. And then it turned into that behind him, We had that loads of time. Oh, brilliant. They're nice, though, those lounge flies. They're lovely. They're
I've seen them so different. Times. Yeah.
Do they only sell them there? Because I never see them. They sell them everywhere.
They're around. Yeah, and they don't. It's not just Disney. It's all sorts of brands are covered by it. So yeah, no, they're very, very cool.
There's some good Jaws ones, isn't there, out at the moment as well? I think
and Jurassic Park as well.
Jurassic Park, E.T.
Yeah, they do all sorts, don't they, with them?
Yeah.
And I've seen this thing. There was a new one with How to Train Your Dragon, where you can take the wings out off the bag and use it as a headband or something. That looked pretty.
Oh yeah,
cool
you can
too.
store like ears. Like they have a special bit for them on certain bags. Cool. Yeah.
Yeah. Steph, can you control Martin with your magic band?
Fortunately not.
No. Let's have a look. I love the magic Disney band. How long have these been going for? Yeah. Disney bands. They haven't been going long, have they? Or have they?
No, quite.
I don't know when they first started. They brought out the new generation. I've got one of the new generation.
Yeah. Right.
They're pretty cool because they light up. Yeah, they light up with stuff that goes on. So when you're at a fireworks show or something, they all kick off and do different colours on them, and everybody's bands are flashing. And
are they expensive? Are they pricey, or is it included in your ticket? I don't know how they work. So I've never been to Disney.
They're quite pricey now.
Are they
about $50, $40? They kind of range.
But I suppose it's going to go down that thing because they'll change the look and the theme of them, so people will start collecting them. Like I remember one from it'll go. So it's opened up another collecting thing, if you will.
Like I got. So I've got its charger in, but I bought this one, Lady and the Tramp.
Oh, nice.
In April, and then Martin got the R2D2.
Oh. That's cool.
Star Wars.
There's a lounge fly bag that matches that, by the way.
There is, yeah. There is.
Sorry.
Did you and Stu pick up some magic bands as well, George?
Yeah. We'll always get a magic band when we go. We get a new one. Yeah, I mean, I think I've got one of my first ones was probably BB-8, and then a Figment from Epcot. And
right, well, you just answered me a question then, because so even though you could use these bands again, the nice thing is when every time you go, you buy a different band, right? And that kind of thing.
So Martin got.
Let's have a look.
Oh, nice. That's a lighty up one, isn't it?
That is a lighty up one.
lighty up one. That's
so they do prices if you want lighting up ones and this.
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's impressive.
Because I don't know if like the sort of non-rechargeable ones, you know, the batteries go eventually, don't they?
They still work as your ticket, but yeah, they run out of battery in terms of the photo ops. So if you go on the ride and they have the camera, it won't read the camera anymore, but you can still use it to scan in with your ticket.
Okay.
They probably know who you are as well with the band, won't they? So they know where you've gone. Because I've seen a couple of things when they interact and they know your names, and it's through the band that they know that.
It's through the band, yeah. And I think they can track you as well with them, so they can see.
Generally, just control your life.
Yeah, as Disney does. Yeah.
That's really. Who's that running through the thing for a bag? Or it's just Steph. You know what I mean? You already know who it is. I've got to think about the Pennywise doll. Kat's not concerned about the Pennywise doll that she has in her house because she sleeps with Keith, so nothing scares her anymore. So. I was going to say that Cat Night, but even I'm not that cruel. Tony Z, we once shouted Wolfie at Robert Lindsay on Leicester Square. He didn't look impressed. Robert Lindsay, Wolfie. I don't. What's that? Wolfie?
He played Wolfie, didn't he, in that TV show? Robert Lindsay. Trying to think what else he was in. Was
that Robert?
No, was he in khaki? He was dressed in khaki. I want to say. Chat can help us out because Robert Lindsay was in My Family. Do you remember My Family? Have you ever seen that?
I can't remember.
With Zoe Wanamaker.
Yeah.
I obviously offered to go back and get it for her. I'm not staying in the bar. Benny didn't. You know, it's over there.
Yeah, exactly.
Pop.
PGM says a lounge fly. Is that a guy or a gal on a couch drinking with a fly?
There you go.
There you go.
Both.
Brilliant stuff. Brilliant. Yes, it is, PGM. Yes, it is. Yeah. Of course you did, Martin. Yeah, look, I'm sure you did, Martin. We all believe it. Look at it. Right, Martin. Yeah. Martin, I'll watch you drink. Charming, brilliant. Look at that. Martin, every time you tell a fib, an Aston Wreck loses his...
Yeah, you tell him, Palps.
Look, don't say that, Palps. That's just cruel. They're idiots. They have a tracking device on them. Right, okay. So you can't. So in other words, you can't just smuggle somebody in, can you? And say you borrow that because they know it's. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think so.
And that band, for example, girls, it always stays with you. Then you know what I mean? It's like you can't use it for the people. And do people swap them? They must do then. So they must do trades for different ones, like they do with the pins. Is that right?
No, but people do wipe them and then sell them on eBay when they're done. So
right, yeah. I wonder if any of them go for a lot of money now. I bet they do. I bet the rare ones or when they first started.
Yeah, they must do, mustn't they? They do limited edition ones. So yeah.
Howdy, Jesse. Howdy to all the fine chats. Hi, pal. It's nice to see you. Epic. So Martin, you need to arrange when you and Steph are popping over this way so I can check my road to pick them up on your bus. They'll just wait at bus stop and go and get them. No problem. That's how Disney knows where Martin and Steph live.
Yeah.
Oh, you never know. Everyone said hello to each other. Wow, Citizen Smith was a proper blast from the past.
That's what it is. That's the Thank you.
TJC, I'm going to Norwich Comic Con next month. If you're about, pick you up. He'll pick you up. Just thought Steph was running like the song Band on the Run. Right, I'm not. What are you talking? That's a bad joke, PJ. Toy Fair, not Comic Con. Yeah, so even Chocolate Chip. Hi, Chocolate Chip. Nice to see you, pal. Even he's saying Citizen Smith. Let's have a look. Martin, do you mean the Toy Fair? So you're going somewhere in Norwich, girls?
I'm not that I know of.
No.
You might be. You are.
Apparently, I am.
Yeah. Do you like going to the Toy Fairs?
Yeah, they're fun.
Oh, yeah.
You're not selling it. You're not selling it at all, both of you. You both just went.
You never know what you're going to find.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I really enjoy it. I do really enjoy it. Yeah, I do. If I got a bit of cash in my pocket, I enjoy it a little bit more because it's not all about the buying, but it's the being able to buy and then seeing people at the same time. And if it's a place you haven't been before, you never know who's going to pop up. So.
Do you ever have something in mind though, Georgie and Steph? Like when you go to these places, I know your husbands are probably like that. They know what they want or they know what they're looking for. Do you ever go, you know what, I'd like to find this or I'd like to find that?
Nothing specific, I don't think, for me. It's just generally, do they have Sylvanians there? Let's have a look and see if anything grabs my eye, that sort of thing. I am kind of looking for more of the Roger Rabbit bendies at the moment.
Careful,
So
be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
What you saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, if we're going down that route, I've always wanted a Land Rover Defender. There's something about
What, convertible or yeah.
I'm not fussy. But yeah, because I've heard a few lads say this. Our Si said it all the time. He said the amount of times he's gone to a toy fair, come back, but he just likes to see everybody. And if there's nothing strikes out to me, he won't just get it. Do you know what I mean? I know the other hand will buy anything. I'll have that. I'll have this. That'll do. You know, I mean, nutcase for it. Steph has great videos on her channel.
Oh, thank you, Gap. They're only little shorts. But thank you.
Nice. I used to like Georgie's. Georgie's was always good. Sweet Collecting Adventures. I still remember the name. It's been brilliant. Yeah. I'm still a subscriber, Georgie. I never left. I never left.
Oh, bless you.
There you go. I have located the last bendies you need.
Oh,
are they the last ones? Oh, okay. Brilliant.
And there you
these
go.
are the bendies you're looking for.
Yes.
Nice.
That came out wrong.
Anyway, it's number 4. Okay, Stephanie, what's your number 4?
My number 4, if I can get to it around.
Oh, yeah. Now I saw your things on Instagram on this. This is awesome.
Miniatures. This one in particular, because this was the first miniature I ever did, and it's probably still my favourite one in terms of how it looks. There's quite a bit of detail. So everything in there I've put together, or
so you have to put everything together, even the ladders and the plants and that kind of
together.
Thing.
Yeah, and you have to shave it all down and make sure it all fits into each other. So I know most of it you can say, oh well, it's just a kit. Yeah, but you have to like sand it all down to make sure it all fits, and it's all quite fiddly and teeny and tiny.
How long does that take to put one of them? So it's done like a model kit, is that right, Steph?
Yeah, exactly. So you have the instruction booklet and you just go through, do what it says, put it all together. It can take quite a while. I mean, I do it in the evenings as a sort of a wind down thing, so I'm not always on my iPad or looking at screens and such. I find it quite therapeutic until I glue my fingers together with the super glue. These bits here, these green tendrils, oh my god, trying to get, like, my whole hand got stuck and covered in green, and I was panicking because I could feel the burning of the super glue on my hand.
Have you got an artistic license with that, or is it just literally you sort of do it as the kit says, or do you have a little bit of a fiddle?
Ooh,
you do have a little bit of a fiddle with it, to be fair. There are some bits where I go off-piste and do my own thing with it. Like some of the decoration, I might think, oh, that doesn't really go like that. I don't really like that like that, or that plant there, so I'll change it around a little bit. But
so when did you get into miniatures like this, Steph? When did you start getting into these?
Yeah, so I kind of started doing these when I started collecting the Sylvanians, because I love the Sylvanians, but they kind of look a bit weird just standing there on their own, you know, and on a shelf. I was like, they feel like they need to be doing something, or like, because you always see them on the packets, like being played with, like in a scene. Yeah. And so when you see it on your shelf, it's like, oh, they look a bit sad. So I thought, I want some scenery to go with, like scenes to set some scene for them to go sit in. So with this one, so I thought, what if I did miniatures? Because the actual buildings that they come with,
oh, they're a good scale, aren't they?
Yeah.
That's a great scale.
Yeah, that's awesome.
They're all a bit plasticky and a bit kiddie. So I thought, what can I do with them? And then I started seeing these miniatures everywhere. And I thought, oh, they could go quite well, actually. So it's not quite the right scale. And then I try and match the miniature with the Sylvanian that I've got. So I've got quite a few Christmas ones. So, but like the penguin family and things like that. So
this is a hobby shop find them base. This is where you got the hobby, because I don't. All the toy stores sell them.
Yeah, no, they're more of a sort of hobby shop thing. To be honest, it's all mostly online these days. So this was Amazon. I like, what's the brand? I can't remember the brand that I use now. No, can't remember it. But yeah, there's this particular brand that does quite a lot of these. So yeah, just
I got a
miniatures
Jen did
free.
a hoarding house a few years back, and there was an old late 60s, early 70s big house that you put together, and it's never been touched. All the wood's still in there on the the doils and stuff, but I've never touched it.
Yeah.
So I think, because if I started doing stuff like that, I don't think I'd stop. I think that'd be something I'd really get into, and so
Yeah.
so is that what you're doing? You're going to carry on making these and putting them with your Sylvanians?
Yeah, so I don't know if you can see here. Ooh, there, behind the microphone. There's one there. That's a beach hut. And then I've got... eating finger. Where am I going?
Light
There.
up. Go on.
You do realise Si's just screenshotted that. I went, thank you very much, Steph. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so I've done a beach hut, I've done a Christmas lounge, I've done a flower kit. There's another one up there that's like a cafe. But yeah, and I'm doing one. What am I doing at the moment? Oh, I'm doing a tree house at the moment. So
yeah,
I
Jonathan
like
Redmond says that's really impressive. Bullard says, wow, that's amazing. Delvian says that is a work of art, and no PGM, you can't move in. So loving that. That's
Awesome.
amazing. How many modelling tips from Muzza did it take? Seriously, though, great. So, yeah, Muzza's brilliant at it, isn't he? Yeah,
Palps really helped me, to be fair, because especially with that one. Yeah, I went to Palps and said, I want to do this miniature, and I have no idea what do I need, what tools do I need, how do I go about it, because I just have no clue. And I know you're on model school. How do you do it? So he really helped me pick out all the tools that I'd need. So
I do know what you mean about the
Palps.
scenes or whatever, because when we had Keith on, you see Keith's Thistle do,
Yes.
but it's all the stories he's put in that, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I love stuff like that, and and I said on that stream, it's surprising how many Georgie and her puppets. Do you see what I mean? I'm surprised how many talented people are around us, away from toys, if you will. The artists and the creators that we have. I think it's unbelievable.
Oh, I forgot. I was going to show you this because I'm quite crafty, and I know because I started off doing crochet.
So that's probably the greatest thing. That's brilliant. Absolutely
So I crocheted.
Brilliant.
I used to do all these like fantasy sort of teapots, and then I did a Christmas one.
That is, oh no, you just think Shabby about there. Oh, that is absolutely fantastic.
So I didn't know whether to do a crochet piece or my miniature, but I thought I'd show both.
Oh, brilliant, Steph. Brilliant. Do they scale good with the Sylvanians? As you've seen nowadays, they scale very, very nice.
Relatively, yeah.
Kieran Ball said Steph is amazing with miniatures. Looks amazing, Steph. Our mum, Anne-Marie, says, that's great, Steph. I love that model you've made, Joe. It's beautiful.
Oh,
It really,
you.
really is. The lovely Emma Guppy has decided to join us. Hello, Emma Guppy. She says, beautiful. My fave. So I was just thinking about that. Very charming. Absolutely charming. Let's have a look. Humana. What does that mean? Humana.
Humana.
Is that what it
know.
means? Humana.
I have no idea.
It was just entered now with the C50 people in there, me Georgie just going humana. It's like a cult they're all doing, Those are adorable. PGM would be the correct scale, Steph, says our Stu. Go sub to Steph. Look at Connor doing his thing.
Thanks,
like
Connor.
Very, very nice of
Thank you.
Let's have a look. Glad my granddaughters aren't here to see these. Yeah. I know it's stuff like that. It's cool, isn't it? Yeah, I would love to move in with my lounge flyer, my clown, Stu. There you go. And tell us what's at the beginning, can't you? Good old PGM. Let me see those fingers. Steph, why are you giving us the finger?
I'm sorry, Gap. I'm so sorry.
Why are you channeling ET, Steph? Can't get away with anything with this lot, can you? Do you know what I mean? You make a good proctology, Stephanie. Oh, absolutely brilliant. I'm back. Right, we can start again. All right, we've had a break. We'll start again. Brilliant. Georgie, what's your number 4?
Well, should we continue as we left off? There we go.
Redis is going to love that. Redis is going to love it.
So this was my original clock as a kid that sat by my bed. It's been over at my mum's in a cabinet, and I thought, I've got to get him out. And he was working, and the batteries got taken out, and we put the batteries in, and he's no longer working. Sad trombone.
VTR.
So,
VTR.
yeah, I haven't unscrewed him yet. There is a little bit of life left in him, but he doesn't rise to the occasion, and he doesn't light up anymore. So yeah. But that was
awesome. You see, that's like a time. There's certain things in there that are just in a time capsule, and that's one of them. That is brilliant, absolutely brilliant.
My clock. And actually, strangely enough, when I said to Mum, "Oh, I'm going to take my clock," she knew what I was doing tonight. She doesn't sort of tune in or anything, but she knew what I was up to. And he didn't come from. I don't think he came from the retail shop. And she said, I found this, and she found the receipt. I've got a picture of it on my phone. She sent me. She found me the receipt that we bought it in 1984, and it was $10.99 at some discount house. So
that's awesome. Your mum still had the receipt for that.
Just bizarre.
Brilliant.
So,
that's absolutely brilliant. $10.99 back then, how much would that be? That's about 25-30 quid, I suppose, back then.
Yeah, I think, do you know, there's some bonkers price at the moment for the clocks on eBay, because she'll always go on and have a look. My mum's a bit of a wheeler dealer. It's her birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
And she's in her coming up sort of later 80s. But she's like 21 completely at heart, you know, still driving a 4x4. She only retired about 18 months ago.
That's awesome.
But she was, you know, she was all into all the collectibles and the teddy bears and that. But
do you think that's where it's come from you? Yeah. From you then?
Yeah,
like
just grew up with it. Yeah. And she actually, something that I could have done a picture of it, and I'll say very quickly because ET was a bit short and sweet. She found my original rocking horse that I had as a kid that we sold, and it's a Haddon rocker, so it's not one with the arch rockers, it's one with the steel arms and the runners, so it actually rocks but level, if that makes sense. It doesn't rock like this. I know way,
exactly what you want. Yeah.
And we sold it a long time ago, and she found it randomly. It's not quite as in the condition, but it was always so sturdy that it would take an adult. But it's back in her garage.
No way.
I
told you, Reddy, to be like, right, I'm off for a vape. He's not sitting here listening to ET stuff. Love it.
I tried to make it quick.
That's cool. I always tend to do stuff like that as well. If you see little things that aren't necessarily action figures, but like a clock or a poster, or I'm bang into those Masters University did these old blow mold swords and axes and stuff, and I see them all the time in England. Every time I watch one of the toy fairs in England, I always see them. Here I don't know, but I'd love to pick up something like, you know, or Scooby Pete got a He-Man Masters Universe clock, and I'm like, that's super cool. I just love stuff like that. So have you collected forever then, you two? Is it? I think you've always done.
Yeah,
definitely.
Really random stuff. I used to have a rock collection when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Did you have a pet rock?
Collecting. No, I didn't have a pet rock.
Don't look, Jonathan. Yeah, looks like a prototype Teletubby. Avert your eyes. Look at everyone's John O's giving that the finger. But VT, I bet VTR was like, that's a cool ET clock. Unscrew ET, what the France? Well, you know, you just get it working. I bet you could get it working because it's pretty straightforward. It's a light and a thing, isn't it? So
yeah, I mean, his head's got his head rises up with his neck.
Does he?
So his head goes up and
Oh, you've got to get that working. You've got to get it, and just put it in your bag. And next time you see VTR, just like, I've got, you know.
It just fell. Oh dear, it's not working.
I can't believe it fell into your hand, VTR. But now you've got it. You might as well do. I bet he'd would. I bet he'd love to have a go at that. Doesn't rise to the occasion or light up anymore. Sounds a bit like me. Follow our Georgie on Insta. There's Georgie's Instagram right there. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't done much on YouTube actually. I think I re-uploaded something where I went around a Dark Crystal Age of Resistance.
I saw it. Brilliant. Brilliant. Wow, I'd love to go to that. And did you know too, talk about Steph's favourite movie, Labyrinth. Did you notice that in Amsterdam they had that vinyl Labyrinth which was pristine, and it was about €10 and not one of these lads picked it up. I thought, what?
Yeah.
Them prices were ridiculous. How come you didn't go, Steph? You just thought, no, I'm not going to Amsterdam with them smelly boys. They can all stay at home.
Well, because we were supposed to go to Florida for 3 ish.
That's right.
Weeks.
Yeah.
I thought it's not fair to put the dogs back in kennels, so I just stayed back.
You wanted to stay at home then, yeah. Did you and Stu never fancy it, Georgie, going to Amsterdam? Because I think there's a few lads after them gone and said how good it was and how cheap it was. I think a few lads are going.
There's that word again. Don't keep telling that to the guys that are over there.
Yeah.
I mean, we will do. I think we definitely will go over there. It just wasn't the right time. It wasn't the right time. It's not you, it's me. Yeah.
There's a lot of lads in here that have the same problem as Stu has. My wife says I don't rise to the occasion and I don't light her up anymore.
Oh.
Shab's totally forgot that there are 2 reds on. Mighty Reds, you'll never... I'll just skip over that straight away. I know at least, get back to my great-grandparents on both sides were collectors. Oh, Grandma was. My grandma did these old brass... It was like dark brass pencil sharpeners, but they're all made out of metal.
Oh, yeah,
and she had loads of them. And so, in a way, she used to collect as well. My mum always did. My mum always had stuff here and there and so forth. But my mum really, I think, for me inside, that's where it aimed from. Because all these toys we talk about, whether we collected it all or not, we had. So everything from like a visionary to and me having 3 older brothers as well, there was always stuff in our house. So even though I didn't collect turtles or Hasbro, I remember him because my little brothers had him. So we always had a house full of toys. You're not alone, Stephanie. I have bags of rocks from the grandkids from over the years. There's another one that does it. It's mechanical, said G4, so certainly it can be repaired. Yeah, I reckon you should look into that. Hi, Matt's Collection. We've talked about you before. Nice to see you, pal. I'd love to bring E.T. back to life. They are, Georgie. From the man himself. I bet he'd well do it. The only problem is because of Camilla, he'd probably keep it. So,
I mean, it's got a bit of life when I brought it home, and I managed. It does beep, but it just he doesn't move.
Were you surprised to see it after all this time? Were you like wow, I can't believe you still got this?
Yeah, I mean, I remember Mum had it. I mean, she's got quite a few bits and pieces over there, so she's got the remainder of my bonzos and whatnot because they just haven't surfaced over here. And we've got a whole collection that I think I touched on Tub Thumpers. I didn't bring over of all the Wizard of Oz dolls, the large Wizard of Oz dolls. They nearly came over, but I was like, yeah, they're all like packed up. But
what was your mum like for that, Steph? Did she keep everything? And because I remember your brother had all this stuff. You remember that you showed on Tub Thumpers. But was your mum good for that, keeping stuff in the loft and that kind of thing?
Oh yeah, and she was always saying like, keep the box because you never know if we move house, you want to put something, protect it in its box. So always keep the box. So yeah, absolutely, yeah. I
find it half and half, girls. Some of the lads, their mums will do what ours did, and some of the lads are like, no, mum just gave it away to the neighbours next door, or we sold it, and that kind of thing. So they do have Star Wars pet rocks, do they? Pet rock was to come up with that and to sell it and to make a fortune off it. Do you know what I mean? G4 says, my dad's mum had a crazy matchbook and playing cards collection. Yeah. When Steph says she collects rocks, I think she means diamonds. Oh, dear Lord, what was said? Oh, brilliant. My mum was a collector, and as well, she used to have... Yeah, I think I've noticed that as well. The funniest thing is when you get to know everybody and start to learn of stuff. I think we've all roughly had the same type of thing. Our mums will use it, or granddads were, and that, it's like when you see Scuba Pete, his dad's got a massive train set in his house all built up and so forth. So, probably that's where Scuba got it from and that kind of thing. Steph said you were #1 diamond, Martin. Thanks, Stu. Absolutely brilliant. All right. Let's get to number 3. Right, Georgie. So I'm to the left. What's your number 3, buddy?
So, mine is a little bit outside of the box and a bit of a right turn at the traffic lights on this one because we've had like a baseball mitt, haven't we? Mine are shells.
Right.
Technically, I collected them. Because I went round the beach. Yeah, seashells. Right. That's the biggest one I could find.
Right.
But that was from Disney's Castaway Key Island on our honeymoon.
Let's have a look.
Just about got the ship in the background, just to back it up.
Cool.
It was just something that's sentimental to me. That was from our honeymoon trip. The first time we'd ever been. To the Bahamas out there, so yeah, just decided to go around and collect all the shells I possibly could.
That's a memory kind of thing, though, that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Now, did you do that as a
Completely.
kid when you went to the beach, collect shells and so forth? So
Yeah, I mean, I used to go skimming stones with my dad all the time. See how
yeah.
many skims you could get across the water, but always trying to collect shells and bits and bobs.
I was the same way in Blackpool, but with syringes and used condoms and that kind of thing. Do you know? Oh, the joy I had. You know?
It's quite difficult to find shells on the beach over here now. Well, I haven't really been looking for a while, but I used to collect them and hand painted shells and things. And
Without me being, and I'm not saying this to be offensive at all. It's kind of an old school thing, that
Yeah.
shell collecting. I think you're the only person
all right.
I know that's ever said that. So I think that's impressive.
Yeah, that's all right. Oh, old school, yes, that's fine.
Yeah. I read it in a good way, Georgie. I read it in a good way. But yeah, did you ever do that, Steph? Did you ever collect seashells?
Yeah, I
you?
actually still have a box full of all the shells that I used to
Yeah,
pick
you
up as
see?
a kid. Yeah.
Right.
Used
So
to
why
love it.
would that make you top? Is it simply memories? Then, like I've just
Yeah,
catched on you.
completely. Just because it means so much to me. I mean, that trip and that honeymoon was the pinnacle of all of our trips. I mean, we did a trip in 2015, the first big one we ever went on, and we did a whole whirlwind of Vegas, Seattle, San Francisco, LA, the whole bit, and that was amazing. But obviously, being the honeymoon, everything we'd been through, we had to move the wedding through lockdown.
Yeah.
And yeah, it all sort of came to this sort of head of honeymoon that we'd had to sort of postpone and everything just happened at the right time. The COVID testing went down and we didn't have to get that done about a week prior to getting on the ship, and everything was brilliant. So, and it was so emotional, and we'd never been on a ship before either, let alone over, on some sandy beach over there, because we don't really do beaches and stuff like that.
I'm never a fan at all. As my wife mentioned, she always wants to go to the lake and I'm not interested.
Going for a day was fine, and eating and stuffing up on barbecue while we were there, and then it's all okay. Now we get back on the ship and off we go. So yeah, purely memories that meant the absolute world.
You can tell because the story goes with the shells. That's awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yeah,
and did you do it as a kid as well then? Sorry if you would. Did you actually collect them as a kid too?
I collect shells. Yeah, definitely collect shells. I mean, you used to, be happy as a sandboy if you got one that was whole and it didn't have bits off of it, or I mean, we'd go to Brighton or Worthing, but sometimes it got really hard to find shells. It was just all pebbles and rocks. So no, you were elated when you found, oh God, look at this, we haven't got to go and buy one from a shop. It's free.
There's a few people that do it. We live near Raven Rock, which is the national park of North Carolina and so forth. And a lot of people do that. They get the stones or they get them off the beaches because they're shiny or whatever, and they collect them.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's brilliant because it's something else on top 5. I love this shit. I love it. You know what I mean? I think it's brilliant. That's awesome, man. Kieran says, I still dream about Steph's brother's awesome stable. I love the way he said it into the stable. Do you remember when you said that? No, we kept it in the stables.
Yeah, we kept it in the stables.
Oh, yeah, near the West Wing. Down there. Do you know what I mean? That was brilliant. Oh. I had a rock with googly eyes. His name wasn't Rocky, it was Cliff. That's right. Seashells, what? Like from a seashore? Oh, very good. There's some comedians here. Let's have a look. I collect shells. Very good, George. Very good. Very good, G-Force. Very good. There was a craze of covering lamps with stuff. Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Remember them? Old 70s kind of thing, wasn't it, Dells? Where
I still have one.
Yeah.
Somewhere. It was a gift from.
And it didn't make your top 5. How
They do the statues as well. They do the statues, where they put like 2 shells back together, back to back, to make a mouth, and then try and make a body out of it. And
well, did you two ever do some? Because I know you're both very crafty. Did you ever do anything?
No.
Shells
No.
yourself?
No.
Straight away, no shells. No.
No.
Even as a kid, just like, what the hell is this?
Seashells, man. Impressive. Shabby's life growing up, sex, drugs, and rock and roll. I'm not going to say I'm not going to disagree. I'll definitely say that. What were those thin white things hanging at the bottom of Stu's shorts? Oh, they were like charming. You always bring a shell or two back home with you from the beach. Yeah, I suppose you did. And I remember going into gift shops when you went on a field trip when you were kids. There was always big shells in there. What was the thing? You could hear the ocean. That was it, wasn't it?
Oh,
You could
yeah.
hear the ocean. So,
Yes.
yeah. Steph has a fossil collection. Do you, Steph?
Yes, I do. Mum used to take us fossiling in
Right.
the landfill.
We should exchange. I've got some in the kitchen drawer. I've got ammonites in the kitchen drawer.
Yes.
And a
How
vertebrae.
did someone marry you two? I tell you, you don't.
So one of our businesses was landfilling, and so we used to dig the holes. So of course, when it was a freshly dug hole, it was really, really deep. So we have some mammoth tusks. We've got some dinosaur bones. We've
Have you?
got,
You got a random
we
T-Rex in the back garden. I never noticed.
Near the stables.
just round from the stables. Belemnites, ammonites. We found some the yellow crystal, which is I can't remember it now, but yeah, one of our diggers cut it in half, and there's crystals all inside it. So yeah, I do, and it's all in Mum's basement.
No, oh, you kept
Temperature
it
controlled. Yeah, she's kept
Temperature
it all.
controlled. Oh,
Yeah,
this is
because
awesome.
the mammoth tusk was disintegrating, so it has to be kept in a special temperature thing. So yeah, I do have a fossil collection.
Thanks for that, Martin. Thank you, Martin. It's weird, and I've said it before, but I'll say it again. When things like this come up, all I can think of are Si typing on his phone doing pictures. That's all I can think about. I know what's coming. You know, so still selling in Blackpool. What, those seashell lampshades? Yeah. Matthew's collection says, my wife likes seashells. I feel like our move to Florida was moving closer to her deal. Yeah. But I suppose the shells where you went on holiday and so forth, George, you're not going to find them on an English beach, eh? So does that, because they were like pure white, those, weren't they?
Yeah. Not mucky dark brown like you get over here.
Those monkey ones. G4 says, I have lots of shells and sandstones. This is what I mean. That's why I love doing top five, because you bring up something like shells and everyone has a story, or everyone, and you know, and we've learned how nerdy Steph is, you know, with all the other fossils and stuff. Brilliant. So, look, they write themselves, Martin. Oh, you've spoiled it now, Martin. Yeah, those. It's funny that, Delvin. You remember those seashell? Forget it. You know what I mean. Them lampshades, can't say it. So, a long time ago. Looks like hooking a dead fish, Martin. No sport in it. What's that? What looks like a dead fish? Did the Demolition Man ever suss out the 3 shells? Oh yeah, is that the movie? Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know. Don't you see? Did you see men collecting shells? I don't know. Would you? Don't want to sound sexist, but would you say it was a girl thing, that collecting? No, I don't think it was. I think
No, I
lads
don't
would probably
think
do it
so.
too.
I mean, the fossils, there's a lot of men doing the fossil thing.
Yeah.
But, shells on, I don't see
Yeah,
that.
the fossil, you know, it's easy for us lot to sit here and laugh, but I guarantee if we went to this landfill and we saw this sort of stuff,
You'd be like,
we'd be like, oh, yeah, we would, wouldn't we, George? It's awesome, man. Yeah, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Steph, what's your number 3?
My number 3. So my number 3 is quite a new thing.
Fossils are cool, Steph. There you go, Mr. B.
There
Fossils
you go.
are
Thank
cool.
you. They are cool.
Yeah, that old Marty. Oh, I've seen it. Now, I'm so tempted by these.
I know. So I've always loved the Addams Family.
Right.
They're just so bizarre and weird. And then when the new Wednesday TV show came out, I've watched it twice. I really, really love it. I don't know why. I just think it's so quirky and weird, and I love her in it. I think she's just great. Just such a different character, the Addams Family. So when I saw this in Florida, in Walmart, and I just couldn't leave it. You know, when you see something and you're just like,
Yeah.
I kind of have to have that. I've not
I'm gonna
collected
pick it up.
anything Wednesday. Yeah. And then I was like, oh my God. So that's then opened a new can of worms.
Did you ever watch it, Georgie? The Wednesday show? It was brilliant. I loved it.
What, the new one?
It's so, she is superb in it.
The next season's out soon, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Loved it. Yeah, loved it.
Oh, look
So
at that
we've
one.
got her in her raven dress.
Oh, nice.
Oh, my
Doing
mum's going to love
doing
these.
her doo-doo.
Yes.
Were they
And
hard to
then-
get hold of these in England? Because I know a few of the lads have been saying they can't really find them. I see them all the time
Yeah.
in Walmart, but were they hard over there to find?
I think so, yeah, because they kind of stopped making them. So this one in particular was really difficult to find. I just found it when Googling Wednesday stuff. Let's hope I don't
Is a reveal.
drop it. So these were quite expensive, but then I found that Monsters High do these like collectibles, and they do a Beetlejuice one as well, which I really want to get.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So they have Morticia, and then they have another version of Wednesday with Cousin It as her heel and Thing as her heel. It's really trying hard not to get all the reflections in.
You are flashing off your Jessica quite nicely. I'm just saying.
I hope that's not a metaphor.
No. So this has kind of opened a bit of a can of worms for me, because I've now gone into sort of the Monsters High collectible sort of.
My daughter,
side of
like I said, my
things.
older daughter loved the Monster High, but they're something else. They are superb, absolutely superb.
So Wednesday's kind of become a bit of a thing, but then also I've been looking at some of the Monster High things, like some of their more collectible pieces, and they're just so extravagant with, again, it's the outfits and how they look.
And Mattel's king for them as well, because it's like I say, the way they do the detail. They've been doing it since the 50s, so they're like well on the you know. So some of those Monster
these are exactly the sorts of things I would have had as a kid. So I'm kind of reliving that, I guess, with these incredible outfits. So yeah,
it's funny as well
cool.
because it's like that Barbie I got this morning, that Barbie She-Ra. Now I'm like the majority of lads that say it, and I generally mean it. I don't really buy stuff for the valuation of it. I'm not like, well, you know, if it sells well, it sells well. But stuff like these, like those Monster Highs that you've just shown, and that She-Ra, they don't. It's like a Lego, if you will. They don't depreciate. They go up. Some of those Monster High dolls are absolute fortune now. You know.
Yeah, I mean, the double one, I've seen it go for sort of like 300-400.
And how much was it originally? How much was it, Steph?
It was 100 and something originally, I think it was. Maybe just under 100. So yeah, I mean, it's mad. They're so pretty.
Yeah, that's really, really nice. Georgie, did you ever fancy getting anything like that? Or
I mean, they do look stunning. We saw some up at the MCM Comic Con. I don't know if it was like the Barbie versions or whatnot, but they look brilliant. I mean, the theming of them is just fantastic. I've got I think on Tubs Thumpers, I showed off my Mary Poppins and my Burt.
That was awesome.
They're really cool. I mean, I love this sort, but I don't want to use the S word again. But it is just a little bit down to space.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Our greatest nemesis in it.
I know it really is. It really is. But yeah, they're fantastic looking. They really are. Really are.
There's a massive fossilized Viking poo in York. Somebody's
going to come up with a punchline for that. It's known as.
Jonathan says those fossils are younger than your jokes tonight, PGM. Is Steph trying to extract DNA from those fossils? Imagine if you had a dinosaur in your stables. You did it all your way. Well, that's just a woolly mammoth. I'd shit myself. I'd be like, what? Martin is her greatest fossil. Did you see that? And that comes from Martin himself, so that's not bad at all.
I know, why?
Simon said he found a fossil, shaved it, and it was Travels with Jason. Well, I got some shells from Dunkirk Beach. I bet that was pretty cool as well. Best not to go shaking them, Jason. Adam's Family School. Yeah, they're really nice. I have seen that Wednesday one. And I loved that show. I just thought it was so well done. But that Morticia one that you've got and all that, and the dancing one, I've never even seen them. But I think Simon or my mum mentioned the Morticia one that came with Wednesday, but I never knew the dancing one. Is that a brand new one? Is that just recently come out, that one?
I think that one's the most recent one, the dancing one.
There you go. Guess what we'll be picking up in Florida, George? Yeah. Is it shells, Stu? I love the chat. I love it. Bizarre and weird. I believe they are mysterious and spooky. He's got a good point. Yes. He has got a good point. Yes. That's awesome. They were cheap as chips in Asda for 5 minutes. Then they ended up on eBay. Yeah, I think they start off at $40, which is expensive for a doll on retail. $40, but they're well worth it. They are. Even G4 says they're great. Matthew says, odd that Steph has 3 items for the number 3. Is that allowed? Yes, it is allowed because the rules. Simon set the rules here when Si showed 500 pieces on his top. You're allowed, as a top 5, you're allowed a franchise to be a top 5 because, like Si said, he loves Megatron or Biker Scout, and he showed loads of them. Even VTR did, you know what I mean? As long as it had an aerial or. So the stuff VTR was put out was brilliant. We hadn't had much Claire since Stu's last live stream, says Kieran. Sorry, I apologise, Stu. I apologise. Dino knows a lot about Monster High from his school. Yeah, I've got to admit, I am impressed by stuff like that. I think when it's well made, and if you think about the way they look, and they start at 40, even though it's a bit pricey for it isn't when you look at the quality of them and how nice they all are. So are you going to go back? Or are you going to start from fresh with Monster High? Are you going to go back and find the ones that you want, or are you going to work that out?
Yeah, I'm going back and looking at them. So there's a Beetlejuice that's out at the moment with Lydia. So I want to get that one. But there's also another Beetlejuice with Lydia in different outfits, but that's going for like £300-400. And I just, because I don't make it anymore.
I know. It's funny that we all talk about Black Series, but it's the Barbie girls and the Monster High girls that they know where it's at. Do you know what I mean? They know where the money is. They have a friend with her too. There on the Wednesday ones. I've seen a friend in the school uniform, and that's just as cool. That's really nice.
Yeah, the Edith. Is it Edith? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
She was. I love that show. I just thought it was.
Yeah,
honestly, she was born to play it, wasn't she? She really was that General Taker.
Just perfect.
Geek Strong says the Addams Family are creepy and kooky, mysterious and spooky. Altogether, they're ooky. The Addams Family, snap. So, thanks for that. Mudhorn says if you haven't watched them, the Wednesday short films by someone called Linda Foxwell on YouTube are excellent, and they predate the current series. Worth watching. I didn't know about that, Ian. That's definitely give that a try. You jumped into another collection hole there, Lady Steph. Says Q.
Yeah, I did.
Have you ever done that, Georgie? Is there something that you like what Steph's just said about the Monster High? Is there something that you've gone, I'd love to start getting that?
Oh, I try not to. I just try not to.
But if there was though, Georgie, what would it be?
Oh, do you know? I really don't know. I mean, I love short things actually. So there aren't lots to collect like the Jaws. I'd like to collect the new Jaws range, the Neckers and all that sort of thing. But luckily, I suppose there aren't too many of those.
No, the Neckers are nice. I've got them. The only problem is that they never got the license for Brody, which is you have to have the Trinity.
Why would you not? It's just
funny that we were having this conversation. I was having this conversation this morning, and I was saying that they made the prototype for it and they showed it, and it looked absolutely fantastic. It had the black polo neck on the khakis, but they couldn't get the license from his estate. I don't know whether they wanted more money or whatever, but the Jaws stuff's pretty cool. And with that being 50 years old this year, that might be Jaws, I agree with that. One of us. Mr. V says the Monster High versions that are superior to the other Wednesday dolls are available. Yeah, but you're looking at some money for them. I tell you, they shoot up. Shame, Shabby, shame. The Golden Rubies never asked how much. Oh, sorry, mate. I didn't realise. I used to live next to an old battlefield. The police came and I thought it was the worst serial killer in history, even the horses. I thought I was the worst serial. What? You thought you were the worst serial killer? George, you got to put that rum down when you're watching live streams, mate. You really have. Martin's turn to make the list of items. So Martin's like Monster High. Check. How much is that? Let's have a look. Jenny Ortega's in Glasgow filming a movie by JJ. But I like her. I think she's that. She reminds me of a younger Winona Ryder, I suppose. And I've always liked her. So I believe it's called Norse Nugget. Norse Nugget, what, the movie, is it? Steph may need to look into some of Anne-Marie's work. She has a lot of goth glam. Yeah, my mum makes
they're amazing outfits
fascinated
that she does.
about. Yeah, she always, and the little intricacies. I like when she puts them up on Instagram so I can see her work and so forth. It's nice because my wife has it on her Facebook page, my mum's work. She this thing with all my mum likes the Blythe dolls, and she makes and my mum does really well selling the dresses for these dolls. I've always said to her, girls, I'd love to have her on a stream and show off the work, but I don't know. She'd probably do 2 or 3 minutes and then she'd be like, "No, forget this." I'm not. But I'd love to do it.
Could Si show them off, maybe? But
then we can say that's the size, and then Si can get as much shit as I've got. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
so
there we go.
Someone send Jono an ET or something. Well, there you go. Are the Monster High dolls aimed at little girls, or are they aimed at the adult collector? Oh, what do you say to that,
So there's 2 different brands. There's Monsters High, which is that one,
Yeah.
That's just your normal girl things. And then there's the Skullector, which is what this one is. So it's got the Monsters High Skullector logo on it, and they do the more sort of high end, more expensive ones. So it's kind of half and half, I'd say.
Do you think they're getting more and more like that as well? I mean, obviously,
Yeah, I think they're tapping into
all the, because I've
adult
noticed that
collecting.
myself. Well, we were talking about with Keith doing the Playmobil, and the new Playmobil, the Magnum PI and the Night Ride. They're not for kids. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's also like buying the James Bond car and all that sort of stuff. And it's funny because it's like Playmobil actually said, yeah, we know who's buying our products now, so we might as well aim it at the adults. Do you think it's gone like, or do you think that's a bit of a shame? Because I do, in a way, you know, toys are meant to be for kids. Do you see what I mean? So how do you both feel about that?
Yeah.
I think, well,
technology's kind of taking over.
It has,
it is. But it's like taking stuff out the box, though, isn't it? That's the thing as well. I mean, a very quick story about us going round to Stuart's parents the other day. He decided to give his nephew a Hulk. I think he was all done up in like Spartan stuff.
Right.
And it was an older, it was an old
Gladiator Hulk.
That's it, the Gladiator Hulk. So, and he just gave it to him, and I thought, oh, that's really cute. And then he promptly ripped its head off, shoved the helmet on back to front, going, oh, he looks better now. And then he was wrenching these bits and all, like, I mean, he was just started to play. And I thought, that's really cute that he's starting to play with it. And he's got an interest and he's not on his tablet all the time.
Yeah.
And Stuart was sat there looking at him and going, no, don't. It's like, he couldn't look. He was like, and he was like going bang, 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 rip head. It's like, well, let's just put the head back on, shall we? And then it gets,
that's
what it's going to be like if the kids are playing with them. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the thought of getting the Wednesday out the box and, you know, a kid sort of going, oh, really playing with it, but getting the enjoyment out of it, but then cutting its hair and putting lipstick on it probably and nail polish and just.
It's funny, we're the last generation, or maybe the second to last generation, aren't we? It's like, so we moved out here and we've got like, this is acres of forest and lake around us. That's all there is around us everywhere. And I remember moving in, I thought, God, if I was a kid, I'd have loved this. Do you know what I mean? I'd have loved, my kids won't even go outside. They won't go outside. I'm like, you're baffling to me. But yeah, I think, you know, I don't think toy companies have any choice but to aim it at us anymore, because we are the ones that are buying it, I suppose. So funny in it, in a way. It's funny how the way it's done. I'd love Anne-Marie to show it. So would I. I'd love our mum to come on and show it. Yeah, I got palps. Oh, here we go. Nurse Nugget is the fossilized Viking poop. What? How am I supposed to know that? Everyone else is like, yeah, I got it, palps. I know, palps. How do you know? Give them Power of the Force 2 figures, they can take anything. Well, yeah, that's a good point. Ha! Stu's losing his shit watching a kid pull a Sid. Our Jess says, I must admit, I'm looking forward, dreading letting my granddaughters into collecting. I'm quite lucky in that. My kids have never been like proper into it. They've never, I don't know, maybe it's because
not bothered them.
No, I don't know what it's funny, George, because I've bought them stuff and this and that, and the amount of stuff that Si's got them and my other brothers have got, you know, when they were kids, toys wise. But it's like Lucy when the Motu came out. Lucy was a lot younger, and we thought, brilliant, we can do this together. And she was like 8 or 9. Now she's not interested at all. She's not, you know, but she's 15. She wants to do, you know, she wants TikTok and all that sort of stuff. So brilliant. I can't handle that. A kid destroying a toy, let alone taking it out of the packaging. It's all good. I stayed cool. You know what I mean? Man kills kid. And I'm like, what's happened here? Do you know what I mean? My 6 grandkids are super respectful. I think most of them are. I think. Do you have any kids that come around to your houses for a collection, like nieces and nephews or anything like that? No.
Nope.
So you're all right then, I suppose, yeah. And I know for a fact Zero Hunter won't let any kids in his house. I know he hates it.
There's too much stuff, like almost floor level in cabinets that go all the way down to the floor, and loose dioramas and stuff. I mean, one arm in the bottom and across, and you've just lost a whole platoon of God knows what. Do you know what I mean? And it'd be like half a day trying to pick them all up again.
But in a way, though, I've got to admit, I know a lot of people laugh at us for being like that, anal about our stuff and stuff, but it has cost us money. And I think that's where the respect comes from. We want to enjoy it. We want to make sure it lasts forever and that kind of thing. Because I do get it as well. You know, when you knock something off and you think, oh, no, do you know what I mean? Happened to me with a Lego Jaws set. I got the Lego Jaws set for Christmas. And I thought, I'm going to make this. And I had this little like table stool. I'm sat here doing it and then putting it on the table stool to add pieces on. And I got like 3/4 into it and I moved it and it smashed. All over again. But I was gutted. I was absolutely gutted. If I were a kid nowadays, I'd be like a cage animal, not going outside. Yeah, it's strange to me. But they also have a ton of their own figures to play with. Yeah. Hey, Mike, good old Darth Rock's here. Hey, pal. Nice to see you. Loads of people have come in tonight. Awesome. To be fair, they've got to negotiate the ladder to get to. Yeah, because this is upstairs in the ladder. Yeah.
It's true.
Darth Rock. Hi, Darth Rock. It's bad enough having the dogs constantly making sure they aren't chewing any. Do your dogs? My dogs never chewed anything. Not furniture, nothing. Never did.
So the old dogs don't. It's more their tails knocking everything off. But new dog Evie does like to chew. But thankfully she likes to chew fluffy things. So we think his room is okay.
Yeah, we were quite lucky for that, especially when they were puppies, because we thought, oh, they're going to ruin the Christmas tree. Or nothing. Never chewed anything, my dogs. You could leave your slippers in the front room and they won't touch them. Strange, that, isn't it? Yeah,
no,
honestly.
She takes my slippers.
My nieces and nephews were told before into the house that look with your eyes, not with your hands. They were great. Yeah. Wait until little Miss Evie gets into Martin's collection room and pees on his Revenge of the Jedi case. My cat knows better than to jump on shelves. Yeah, exactly. It's funny, isn't it? You know, you have to take things like that into consideration. Little Miss Evie is a dog, not Molly's nickname for Steph. Just to clarify.
You are terrible. Terrible. You're awful.
Indiana Jones has nothing on Kester's whippy tail. What's Kester's whippy tail? Oh, it must be his dog.
Kester's his dog.
Yeah. Oh, the fact they just tell us that we all know who his dog is. Do you know? Oh, yeah, Kester. How is he? All right.
Yeah, Kester.
You're safe, Martin. You're not fluffy enough. Oh, there you go. Sequel's fingers at tail level only, right, Martin? Absolutely brilliant. Anyway, let's get to number 2. Someone might, yeah. You're right.
Oh, dear. Who's it?
You.
Oh, me. Okay, so number 2, Shabby, I need your help with this one.
Got him. So what I'm going to do is, first of all, I'm going to show the pictures and then there's a video to show. So this is amazing. I'm glad you showed this as well because this is really cool. Let me just get that up. Go back here. So this is Steph's number 2. Wow.
Lego Rivendell.
Wow. It's massive, that thing.
Yeah, so seeing that's what got me back into Lego. That's why it's number 2. We had Lego my brother had Lego as kids. He built everything out of that, and so I grew up watching all these things, him build all these things. I never had any of my own. So when I saw this set, I was like, actually, I have to get it. It's just like no Lego I've seen before. It's just so beautiful, so colourful. It's so intricate. And you can just see what it is. And then I bought a lighting kit for it. And then it has all these little Easter eggs all throughout it, referring to the movies. Yeah, I just love this piece. It's
one of those things like the Jaws thing, Steph, that even if you don't collect Lego, it's so iconic that you'd pick it up. You know
exactly.
How many pieces was it?
Oh, now there's a question.
Gotta be thousands. Gotta be. Look at all that work.
4,000 and something, nearly 5,000, I think.
So how long did it take to make?
Several weeks. So normally I'm usually quite quick with Lego, but because I built this exclusively on Lego studs, I was very restrained and didn't build it in the evening. So it took several months to build, just doing it on the Lego studs show.
So you'd build it on rums and then you'd leave it a week and come back and build it again?
Yes.
I couldn't do that. I'd sit there to get it done. I couldn't do it. That lighting kit looks awesome. Look at that.
Yeah, it really enhances the Lego, I think.
Such a beautiful piece. Look at that. Like I say, you know exactly what it is and so forth.
Yeah, it's really detailed. And it's even got little mushrooms that glow in the dark. If it's been under light, the little mushrooms will glow. So there's just little hints and tips like that about it.
How hard was it putting that lightning kit in it? Right,
God.
I say why I asked that, because when I made videos, I got a BD1, a Star Wars one, and I got a lighting kit for it. And I turned around and said, don't worry, the next video, and that was 3 years ago. Still haven't done it. Still in the box out there. I'll forget that.
But don't you put them in before you build it, or as you're building it? Is that the way to do it?
some sets you put it in as you build it. Other sets you put it in after you've built it. This was one where you put it in after, and just, oh my God, I was swearing so much it's so delicate that you just slightly nudge something and it goes pinging off somewhere. I was like, oh, why?
It's absolutely beautiful. It really is. It really is. And to get the scale of it, Steph has also sent me a video, which I'll show in a sec, which is really, I mean, it's, would you ever get one of these, Georgie?
So
look at that. Look at this.
Oh, give me a room to put it in and I'll be there like a shot. I mean, I've got the Cinderella castle I've got, and that's the biggest, maybe second biggest piece. I got the Death Star as well that Stu bought me quite a few years ago. The original Death Star Lego.
There's PGM right there. PGM. So there's the pictures, and if I show this right here, I mean, look, this is the video of it, and that's just spectacular with all the lights in, Steph. That looks really, really. Look at that with it flashing there.
Yeah, really, just like the water actually looks like water. It just all enhances all of it. It's really cool, and you get all the minifigs with it.
Wow.
It's like you should be doing a voice.
I loved your setting as well with the dark and all that stuff. And you've got it in a case, haven't you, Steph?
Yes,
is that right? You've got a case for it?
Yeah, I always get cases because I just thought the dusting. I can't dust that. It will break everything. So I thought I'll get the case for it.
Let's just show that again because it's just well worth watching again. Absolutely beautiful. Look at it. Beautiful. How many figures do you get with it?
I think there was 8 to 10 figures, I think.
Yeah, it does. I think that I think you did right there getting the lighting kit with it, because I think the lighting kit really pulls it out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wow. Hi, APC. Nice to see you. Just been listening, been setting up my son's phone. Now I'm as old as now I'm holding was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Looks
so
incredible.
Like the light kits.
Yeah, but I would have to buy one already built. Am I still in there, Steph, or have me to Mordor, says PGM?
No, you're in there. You're there in the middle, right there. My PGM hobbit, who is
brilliant.
I have him on my desk now.
Yeah, on Lego studs. So that's the only thing you've built on Lego studs exclusively, is it?
No, everything is just built on Lego studs. The only thing I didn't build on Lego studs were these roses. Everything else that I build. Apart from actually, I didn't do the castle or Hogwarts. Where am I? Hogwarts behind me, but I had them a few years back.
Well, yeah, I'm going to show that in a sec, because behind you, you've got another Lord of the Rings ones right there, haven't you? The big tower.
Yeah. Barad-dûr Tower.
Barad-dûr.
Barad-dûr.
And is that the castle you've got there, Steph? I mean, George, is that the castle you've got as well?
Yes, that is. That's the original one, isn't it? So they've done it. Yeah, they brought out the new pink one now with a few extra fireworks and bells and whistles.
Yeah.
So Lego, wow. I always got put off with Lego, Georgie and Steph, for the price. I mean, I always get one for Christmas. I always ask for one at Christmas. So the Imperial Shuttle I got, and they got the. But then when you're looking at $600, $700, $800 for Lego, I'm like, I mean, how much was that Rivendell? It wasn't cheap, was it?
400 and something.
Easy,
yeah, it's a special piece that you just buy. Buy one of those a year.
Buy one.
You said that, but then you've just shown us the tower behind you.
Well, I couldn't resist.
So you're wrong, really, are you? It's just the one, Martin, I promise. Oh, they've done the tower. You know,
Whoops!
Brilliant.
Just slipped in a shopping basket.
This is PGM size. She was definitely swearing. Oh,
I was.
So many people. APC. Yeah, there's so many. We've had over 50 all night. It's been brilliant. Loved it. I'm sure piss it was said.
Yeah, that's kind of my signature thing when I'm doing my models on Top Gun Models. I'm like, oh,
I think the tiara is slipping here, Stephanie. Look at this. I thought she was a lady. Well, this goes to show, doesn't it?
Slipped years ago.
That's incredible, said Mr. B. Yeah. Really cool, says PGM. The lighting kits can be fiddly, Shabby, but with your poor history of not being able to transform this, maybe you should ask one of your girls to put the lighting kit. Well, I did I got the Christmas Story one. Me and Pete got it. I love that. Was my favorite Christmas movie. And a Chinese company did a really nice knockoff of a Christmas Story house, and that had the lights in it. But it was quite easy because whereas Georgie just asked you, did you put the lights in as you went, and there weren't any instructions, so that was pretty straightforward. I think my issue was when I got the BD one, I'd made it, and then I have to take it apart to put the lights in. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what
It's
ruined it
nice.
for me in a way. So Precious, hi Gilster, nice to see you, pal. What an amazing Lego set, Steph. Yeah. What's the most you spent on Lego, Georgie? What's the that Death Star must have been pricey.
Yeah, I think the Death Star was. I don't know what the price of that is. Stu can probably enlighten us, but it must have been 253, maybe something like that. I don't know. At a guess.
Do you have
But that was a while ago.
I asked this to the lads a few times, but I'll ask you. Do you have a cut off yourself? Like, I can't spend that much money on something. You do, yeah. I think we all do, really, don't we?
I think you have to at certain points.
It depends what you're saving for and what is priority. You know.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's a good way of doing it. Yeah. Why is that PGM Hobbit got hair like
It's the only hair available. That was long.
It's the only hair available, size. The only hair available. Steph is hiding from Sauron. Brilliant. She built off steam on all the other sets, was my point. Right, got it. So that's the one she did exclusive like that all the time. Yeah. Mel Gibson, you say? Brilliant. I thought the tower was pronounced Barrydor. Yeah. Out of it, left of it. Fire, burning the bolt joke for old farts like me and pals. Anyway, Georgie, what's your number 2, pal?
My number 2, just to trip Steph out, because I like doing that now and again.
Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.
It's Mafari, the original Fiery from Labyrinth. He did come out.
He did come freaky.
out. I think I showed him before, just the once, but yeah. And he does completely detach.
That's so weird. You don't like that movie, Georgie. I mean, Steph, I find that when you said it, I think everyone had a heart attack, didn't they? They were like,
it just doesn't flow. It just seems like random bits put together. Like this scene was just completely out the blue. I have no idea how they came up with this. And,
don't lose your head.
It's so bizarre.
Brilliant, Georgie.
Bless you. Yeah, but I mean, the story behind it, I think I've told it before, so sorry to bore people. Back when the movie came out, we went to a club when I was a kid, and it was my birthday, and all the kids were getting cuddly teddy bears, and you get called up like, it's so-and-so's birthday. Oh, little Johnny. Oh, here's a little cute little cuddly bear for you. And then, oh, Georgina, it's your birthday. Come up and here's this. There you go. Whatever that might be. Yeah. So, yeah, but I just loved it. I just thought it was fantastic.
Brilliant. I love that thing. Yeah. Jesus, Georgie, you nearly gave me a stroke when you pulled that arm off. You know what I mean?
His tail doesn't. No, his tail's attached. I can't pull it. I can't yank it.
Did it hit you, Labyrinth, the movie, as a kid, Georgie? Did it hit you like, it did me. I loved that movie.
Yeah, it really did. And to be honest, the thing that I watch the most about it is the making of it. All the time. If you watch the making of it, it's just wonderful. And having met a lot of the people now, and like when I crewed the Dark Crystal convention a few months back now, and a lot of the people were there. So I mean, I met Toby Philpott, I think was one of the Fireys. So I got to meet a lot of people that was involved as well. So to do that now is just immense, and everybody talks so passionately about it. That's the thing about the films as well.
Well,
no matter how creepy
everybody except one person. Everybody except for one person.
I must admit, Hoggle is the creepiest. I wanted him to be not quite as creepy, but
he is.
I mean, Ludo's the favourite. I know he is.
Ludo bad.
Ludo will be the favourite, but I like these guys.
That's the point, Steph. It's a labyrinth. You get lost in it. Do you know what I mean? So, no one's agreeing with you, Steph, at all. Gotta say, Barry had a great package in that movie. Thanks for that, Pete. Yeah. What surprises me is that Georgie wasn't inspired to become a vet after receiving that toy. Well, there, he's got a good point. Yeah, got a good point. But you did that. Tell us about that exhibition you went to as well, Georgie. It's on Georgie's channel, so if you haven't seen it, watch this exhibition. It's really what was that all about?
It was the Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. We literally, I think it was, I want to say COVID time. Sorry. So it was a tricky time, but they had I've got some other photos I think I've put on Facebook of actually the Emperor's table. So it was the latest series that they did for Netflix of the Dark Crystal.
Why
Rise
they
of
cancelled
Resistance.
that?
So,
I don't know. They cancelled
yeah,
it.
they
Didn't they? It's
no,
so
they
sad.
yeah, they didn't want to do the second. I don't know. I think it might have been too expensive. Was one of the
Yeah.
biggest things. If it didn't make enough money, it's not like it didn't have the interest though.
Yeah.
I just don't think it made enough because I mean, Louise Gold, that was also at one of the conventions. I mean, they were all part of that. I've got a load of signed photos from the guys that did that. And they had all the puppets there as well. There were lots of other things that I didn't showcase back then because I was doing it all on a GoPro. Actually, I was all very new to this going around filming stuff. But
Yeah.
went up by myself, left Stu at home. Yeah, and it was.
I
It was
would have gone with you, Georgie. I'd have gone definitely. I'd have loved that. That would have been right up my
Yeah.
street.
They had
Yeah.
the original Ogre as well. She was up there in a case. Yeah, it was just amazing to see the puppets and
I bet it was.
You know, behind the scene bits and bobs and props. Yeah.
Yeah. So would you say this was in your top 5 simply for the movie or for the love of that toy?
I think it's because of he was given to me by my mum. The fact that I loved the movie so much, but the fact that it was one of the first things I remember being given as a kid.
Yeah.
I had toys, I had dogs and fluffy stuff, but I don't remember actually ever sort of being presented or given it. So because it was from that movie, it's just twofold. So
I think it's. Honestly, I'm not listening to Steph. I think it's awesome. I think it's. Oh, brilliant! I've got some. Did you know? Did you know Bowie's Codpiece was the name of his high school band? There you go. Let's have a look. That's not how vets work, Kieran, pulling stuff off animals. Yeah, got a good point. Didn't Si say PGM played David Bowie's package?
It's a very important role.
Sorry, I meant
Yes.
butcher, not vet, butcher. Oh, brilliant. Stu, it was only a small part. Oh, brilliant. Connery and Zardas had them both beat. Yeah, I agree with that. Not Nevada G-Force. Was upset when I was guilty because it's like came out of nowhere. But I wonder if it's because of, like I said, the expense as well, because mannequin makers and puppet makers, they must be rare now. So they must be expensive to do it like that.
Weirdly, I'm going to pull a Steph. I've got something else here as well that I've just remembered. When I went up to the
Awesome.
when I went up to the exhibition, they were giving these away. It's got a bit bent up, but it's one of the original poster artwork. Let's see if I can get it open.
Let's see. Oh yeah.
Which is really
See, I'd get that framed because I bet that's going to be worth a bit later on with it being a one-off.
It's been knocking around for a while, and sadly, it's got quite dogged and whatnot. But yeah, so the tree up the top, and then I think we've got deep down the bottom. I think that is, yeah.
And the lovely Connor says, catch Georgie's Dark Crystal vid right here on Georgie's YouTube page, right there. Thank you, Connor. That's awesome of you, man. Peter would win an award for Best Athletic Support Actor. Charming. Balls boy up this time, Martin. Oh, wow. I think that's amazing, Georgie. Yeah, that is amazing. You two have shown some freaking awesome stuff tonight. You really have. Brilliant. That's gorgeous, Georgie, says Kat. It was a great series. It was a great series. Shame. Do you think it would? So when you watched it, Georgie, did it remind you of I watched Willow, and that was nothing like the 80s Willow.
I mean, I love the original Willow. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, the only part that I liked was the nod to the old Willow in the new one, in the sort of dream sequences where they actually brought the original cast into it.
Yeah.
In the new, that was the only bit that sort of went,
shocking to me. I didn't get past episode 2. I couldn't do it. I don't care about the woke or not. That wasn't that for me. I thought this is nothing like, you've just gone down a different thing. It's not Willow at all. I just couldn't watch it at all.
We forced ourselves to watch that.
But did the Dark Crystal series feel like the Dark Crystal movie to you? We always say when we watch Star Wars, it's the feel of it and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was. They brought in new characters. I think Hunter was a new character in it,
Right.
but they developed the Podlings a little bit more into their clans and their little families. So we saw a lot more of them, and there was more of a story. But it was just escapism, and there wasn't like, oh God, they've gone and done this. Oh God, they've gone and done that. It was just I
agree with you, Georgie. Do you collect the figures? Says Gilster. You've got quite a bit of Labyrinth merchandise, haven't you, Georgie?
Yeah, Labyrinth and Dark Crystal and the Age of Resistance. I've got all the new ones apart from the Spitter. amply. Now it seems to be Georgie's top
Stop
5
laughing,
innuendos
Steph. Stop
tonight.
laughing, Steph. Of course, Steph. You know what I
I
mean?
swear to God, it's Georgie's top 5 innuendos tonight, isn't it, on everything? But yeah, so I've got the Age of Resistance ones, and I've got the Chamberlain that arrived with the broken hand that very kindly VTR fixed for me. That was marvelous. But yeah, I've got quite a bit, and I've got most of the Labyrinth I can lay my hands on that I've seen anyway. Yeah.
You know what? I give Steph a lot of crap for not liking it, but I've got to admit, I never watched The Princess Bride as a kid. It was one of my wife's favourite movies. She loves so I watched it recently, a couple of years, and I thought it was terrible. I thought, what? I don't get it at all. Do you know what I mean? It's so I understand sometimes. I think, Steph, what I'm trying to say, sometimes you have to be at a certain place or a certain age to appreciate these sort of movies, you know.
Absolutely.
Although I did watch The Goonies last night for that's 40th with my son, and that's
we watched it the other night too. Yeah.
And my son loved it. He'd never seen it, and he loved it. I knew he would, you know. So that was pretty good. Jonathan says back then a movie was just one movie for the most part. Very few got sequels, and if they did well, everything would have to be a franchise gimmick. It was only from the last decade and a bit. Yeah, I agree with that. And the same as TV shows. Yep. Let's have a look. Or bring in if you're proper. So my favorite so far is The Shells. Somebody shoot me. My name ID Podling Skywalker. Very nice, pals. What the seashells from the seashore? He's used that joke about 3 times now, hasn't he? Yeah, here we go. The original Willow was awesome. Willow's show was I couldn't agree more. I was so sad. I was so good.
Yeah. It was so disappointing.
I know the progression and everything else, but this is set in a fantasy world with dragons and castles and that kind of thing. And I just thought, come on, man. Do you know what I mean?
I think it's the first thing that made me realise how, because although, yes, I love Star Wars, I love the original Star Wars, the first 3, I wasn't totally into it. Do you know what I mean? About what came after that. And a lot of people love things, hate things, but I don't have a major opinion on it. I can't get my words out. I don't have a major opinion. Oh, I actually hate this or I actually hate that. But with Willow, that was so personal to me. I was like, yeah, this is what is this?
Sad.
What
sad
are you doing?
In a way, it was.
So I completely get,
What would you say your favourite sort of fantasy movie was as a kid? I'll start with you, Steph. What do you think it was?
Oh, crap.
No.
I generally don't remember.
That well-known series. Oh, crap.
Fantasy. No, I didn't really do much fantasy when we were kids, to be quite honest.
What? Are you joking, Steph?
No.
Remember, I think one of my favorites was Legend. You know, remember with Tom Cruise? I loved that movie, and Tim Curry played like the devil at the end of it, and so I loved that fantasy movie. But no, that's funny. That's funny. That Steph. You know.
Yeah, thinking about it, we didn't really do too much fantasy stuff. You know, my parents didn't sort of sit me down in front of fantasy stuff, I don't think.
I suppose you hit the nail on the head there, though, Steph. It depends what your mum and dad are going to sit down and watch, innit? Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that makes sense.
A birthday party, a girlfriend's birthday party, being very young, Never Ending Story did it for me as a fantasy. I used to pretend I was the little lad on the back of Falcor, and I had my cape flowing in the wind, and I was doing all this business.
Brilliant. One of the saddest deaths on earth, that Atreyu dying in it, that horse.
Have you seen, actually, you have to search for it, there's a little short somewhere on YouTube with a kid that cosplayed as Atreyu. And he's got a horse's head that looks like it's stuck in a swamp, and he's dragging it round. It's brilliant.
I guarantee that was his dad's idea. His dad went, right, this is what we're going to do. Absolutely brilliant. Princess Bride. I don't know what and I felt a bit sorry, really, because my wife doesn't usually get like involved with all the pop culture stuff, but she loves this film. So I thought, yeah, I'll watch it. I just thought, what a lot of rubbish. Yeah. You don't love the Princess Bride? Inconceivable. I don't know what maybe it's like I said. I tried it with Weird Science. My 2 older kids, I thought I loved Weird Science as a kid. And I thought I'll put it on for them. And honestly, even I was like, this is bad, man. This is like 10 minutes in. I thought this is a bad movie, you know. But I loved it as a kid. I thought it was like a masterpiece. I don't mind The Princess Bride, says Matt's Collection, but I don't put on the pedestal like a lot of people do. Yeah, that's a good point as well. First Willow was plop as well, so I wasn't a fan of the First Willow. I like the First Willow. I think it's great. And the worst thing for me is I hadn't seen it for years. And so knowing this TV series was coming, Steph and Georgie, I watched it and I loved it again. I thought, yeah, this is great. So when, you know, that was still fresh in my mind from that. So let's have a look. Princess Bride is the film I know most quotes from that I haven't seen. He's never seen it, but he knows the quotes from it, right? The Willow series felt like it was made by people who'd never saw the movie. 100% agree. 100%. Yeah. Kieran says, I'm not a fan of Princess Bride, but I do appreciate other people's opinions. Unless it's people who like Star Wars prequels and sequels, they're just nuts. I am nuts. I just have pills. Love that. Time Bandits, Steph. You've got to watch Time Bandits.
No, never.
Oh,
no, and I didn't watch Willow till I met Martin. And Martin said, "Oh, you know, one of my favourite films is Willow." It's like I have no idea what you're talking about, so we had to watch that.
No idea.
If nothing else for Val Kilmer, I mean,
he's awesome in it. Yeah, but Time Bandits, I agree, Gilson. That's right up there. Legend is a great movie. Yeah, we're gonna have to make a list for Steph, aren't we, Georgie?
Yeah, you are.
Got to watch this. Got to watch this.
Definitely.
But it was funny that because I was so excited for you to watch Labyrinth, and when he said, "Oh, you know," Georgie said, "Oh yeah, watch it." And you went, "Yeah, I'll watch it." Then you went, "No, it's crap." Oh.
I do feel like if I was a kid, I would have loved it because I think all the craziness about it and the big furry things in it, I think I would have liked it.
Wow. Look at Michael Reed. Who, Shabby? I still haven't seen the Goonies movies. I'm now in my 50s. Wow. That's crazy.
We want to get to Astoria. We really want to visit Astoria.
Andy lives right there, Andy Lemire. And to live up there, that's where he lives, just outside of Astoria. And wow, it's just him and his lovely girlfriend went and took pictures recently. They went to the Short Circuit's house and they went all around Astoria. Beautiful area, absolutely gorgeous. Yeah, I'd love to go there. The next Willow series was horrendous, such an abomination compared to my childhood favorite. Willow. Yeah, I was like, Krull was beyond its time. Have you ever seen Krull, Steph?
No.
Georgie, have you ever seen Krull?
Krull?
I think I have in passing.
Remember with the star thing that he flew? It's a brilliant movie. Brilliant, yeah. Steph's just not as nerdy as the rest of us. That's what it is. I've got things to do. I'm not like you. Aren't Steph's favourite shows upstairs, downstairs, and Downton Abbey because they bring back.
Ding, 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 ding.
Brilliant, Kieran. Brilliant.
Wow.
Yeah, the Artax scene. It was, sad, man, sad. Anyway, we could be here all night. I've loved this tonight. It's been brilliant. Let's get to your number ones. Right, Georgie. I've got you left right here. So what is your number one?
I'm going to whip it out quick.
Thanks for that.
Yay.
Awesome.
Oh, that's amazing.
Awesome.
My Kermit Indy.
That's brilliant.
Yeah. Bless him. He's got his everything. He's got his little idol in there. I don't actually know what the idol is, to be fair.
Is it Fuzzy? I can't quite work it out.
It is Gonzo.
Oh, it's Gonzo.
See, that's the back.
I've never seen that. That's fantastic. So where's that from, Georgie?
It's a Palisades one. It was an exclusive from somewhere. I don't know. I think it might have been a convention exclusive. It's a 2004. Yeah, Adventures of Kermit with his gun and his everything.
Yeah, the lads are loving this. Look at this. That Indie Kermit is epic and so forth.
Yeah, I thought I was paying the earth for him. Yeah, I thought I was paying the earth when I bought him. But they just going up and up in price.
Was there a set of these as well? So it wasn't just Kermit you could get, or
there's loads of Palisades in themselves. Right. So many different ones out there. I also do the Diamond Select Collection ones as well.
Oh yeah, seen them.
I think that's coming to an end. I want to say with the company in trouble. Something's happened recently, and then they can't do anymore. I think. But yeah, he was just ace when I saw him. I think he has been out of the box, so because he's not completely sealed, so I might even take him out of the box and pose him a little bit.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It's hard, that, isn't it? You're going to get half the lads saying do and half the lads saying don't.
Well, he has been open, although his ties don't seem to be sort of, undone and whatnot. But,
it's weird. It's awesome. That's absolutely
I had to have
brilliant.
the Muppets.
VTR said that belongs in a museum.
Well, I got a Mickey as well. I've got a Mickey crossover that's also an indie that I got from Florida when we went, which was a complete random by chance. We stumbled across a touring sort of fair where they just had lots of stuff, and one area was like fill a box of stuff for like $10 and stuff, and there were bits of ATSTs in there, Star Wars stuff, all sorts of stuff, pops, figures, and what we didn't realize, you sort of just went round a bit like an indoor table sale, picked up whatever you wanted, popped it in a box, got to the end. The day we went to, it was all like 20% off everything you take to the till. And then the next day, it was 30% off everything you take to the till, because obviously the stock would deplete and the fancier stuff presumably would go. But sadly, no Palisades here. But the Palisades are just getting a lot more expensive to get hold of now, and a bit out of my price range.
Again, it's what you two have shown things tonight. I'll be honest here, bro. That it's very eclectic what you've both shown. It's like you both of you, your whole top fives are so different to each other. Do you know what I mean? But you've shown stuff that's just superb. I think even if we didn't collect it, you'd want one of those. Do you know what I mean? That's
Well, I couldn't go by without showing an actual Muppet. So.
No, I think all the lads are loving it here. Yeah, and Palp said it's better than the latest indie film. Steph, do you know about Indiana Jones? Just we want to keep you.
I do know Indiana Jones.
Jeeple says I have an Animal Muppets figure with the drum set on order with Entertainment Earth for 10 months now. Yeah, are you going to get the Neck of Sesame Street ones, George? Have you seen them?
I've been very kindly gifted a couple of the Sesame Street figures already. I don't think they were the NECA ones, the ones on the really cool car backs.
Right.
I mean, you're talking about rabbit holes. I mean, to be honest, you could say Henson is one just giant rabbit hole, but Sesame Street is another branch and another Warren and another, goodness knows what. So I think because Kermit was indie, it was just that kind of double whammy that interested me. I have got a large animal, actually, stands quite big, that my mum bought me. But I'm looking at the Sweetums, looks amazing.
You two girls, how you don't do a thing like this on your own and show all your collections off of your collection reviews? I'd sub straight away. I think it's fantastic what you both got. So I've never seen Ice Pirates. Ice Pirates is a weird movie, but it's awesome. I loved Ice Pirates. Michael Reed has a bit of controversy here. How come it's okay for Georgie to say she can whip it out quick, but when he says it, ladies think he's a perv? He's not very happy with that. Georgie, just give Martin a stroke by saying Kermit has been opened. Scolded. On the subject of quotable lines, I must share, it's a prelude. Have you seen Aristotle's Poetics? No, of course not. You haven't even seen Casablanca. Very good. Very nice. There he is. You've done there. Fact, PGM played Kermit Indy.
He is Diddy. He is really Diddy.
I have an Indiana Winnie the Pooh beanie from Disney, says Matt. Yeah. Those Diamond Select Muppets are amazing. Gutted the Statler and Waldorf reissue is nothing like one. Like it won't come out. Being Disney fans, what did you think about them getting rid of Muppet Vision and all that sort of stuff at Disney?
Absolutely.
There's been a lot of controversy over here.
Gutted. Absolutely gutted. I mean, I'm glad that they're not departing the park completely. A lot of people are like, I'll keep Aerosmith, and I'm like, actually, I mean, my playlist on the way to work is the Muppet movie. So and also awesome. the Electric Mayhem series that came out that I actually was quite fond of. I don't think I did a bad job on that at all. Is their playlist as well. So I'm rocking out with Dr. T from the Electric Mayhem on the A3 down onto the M25 every morning.
So they are keeping a little bit, because I couldn't get that. I watched Adam the Woo on it. He went to the last one and I watched him and I thought, oh, what a shame. And then I saw it on the news everywhere that people were like protesting, don't get rid of the Muppets. So they're moving it to somewhere else. Is that what they're doing?
They're turning the Aerosmith Rock and Roller Coaster into the Muppets Rock and Roller Coaster. So they're retheming it.
But you're not going to have that theatre 3D thing again where you can go in and so forth. Oh,
not that we know of, but there's lots of speculation in there. There's lots of speculation that it could be VR and it could move to where the villain
away from the 3D and going into more more technical.
Potentially,
stuff.
yeah.
Did you ever go it? Did you ever do it when you go to Disney? Could do the Muppets?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I bet it was awesome. I'd love to do that. That was really cool. Vintage Tourist wants to know: is there a Miss Piggy Marion crossover?
Ooh.
Oh, that would be cool.
Actually, that's a good point. Yeah,
That'd be cool.
That's a really good. Right, Steph, what's your number one, pal?
Well, I think we all know what it's going to be. If I don't break her, please don't break.
Yeah, this thing is ridiculous. Our size. Don't ever tell Si where you live. He'll nick this. I know he will.
Yeah.
That is unbelievable.
Isn't she pretty? And then I'm just wondering if I don't know if I should dare move her. I was going to try and lift her up.
No. We can see it. We can see it.
Yeah. You're making me anxiety go through the roof right now.
Moving towards me, my head. There we go. Ooh.
So for anyone that doesn't know, Steph, what is this? Who made it and where did you get it from?
This is a sideshow collectible statue, and I just love Roger Rabbit. I was just obsessed with that film when I was younger. It was kind of a connection to my dad as well, because my dad loved that film.
Yeah.
So when I saw this, I think it's just the best representation of Jessica going. So I had to get this, and Martin actually got it for me for Christmas.
It's awesome.
And it was our first sort of big gift to me, if you will.
Because they've kind of stopped doing this look for her now, haven't they? I know at the ride as well, they've covered her up now in a jacket and so forth, haven't they? Which
of course.
And then it comes with this print.
Wow.
Which I'm going to get framed and put up because I love that picture as well.
I remember Heidi Klum doing her one year as a Halloween, and she looked just like it. Was weird how they put the prosthetics on her and so forth.
Yeah, so she's
that is a prized possession, that in it. That once again, you've shown. I don't want to repeat myself, but once again, you're showing something that everybody would have. She
does defy gravity, doesn't she?
Yeah,
she does. She's yeah.
But she's because dresses soft goods, hey? Dresses.
Yes.
Yeah, so who made it there? Who was it that made
Sideshow
it?
Collectibles.
Wow.
Yeah, and she's just balanced on her toe, and she does have the base does light up. Nope, not anymore. Not got batteries in it, but the base does light up, and she comes with one of the waiter penguins as well, and he's serving a drink. But I broke his foot, so I put him back when we were moving house.
And there you are, picking that up, and you're already telling us you're breaking other things and all that sort of stuff. Wow, it's just ridiculous how good that is. So let's see what the lads say like that. Looks like Jessica Rabbit has a hidden mic on it. It does look like that. That's a good point. It looks like there's a hidden mic.
It does a little bit from that angle.
Yeah. Who Framed Roger Rabbit is the only film where both Mickey Mouse and Bugs Bunny appear. He doesn't get the love he deserves, I don't think.
Brilliant film.
Because it's like when you talk about animations, you rarely bring that one up, and it's one of the best ones, you know.
Yeah.
Love that movie.
And I love that whole vibe, like the detective sort of noir vibe about it as well. So, yeah.
Did Martin truly get it for you, says D-Force? It looks like he did.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. Or was it for him? You know what I mean? You never know. Jessica Rabbit, lovely, Steph. Yeah, it really is. I don't think it's hidden, Stu. You can see it right there. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, Martin's got that for Steph. Of course he did. Awesome, Steph. She's not that bad. She's just drawn that way. It's the voice as well. Kathleen Turner did her voice, didn't she? So it just, it was
amazing.
Brilliant. Paddy cake, says Gilsey. Yeah. Martin, you can buy Si one for Christmas, apparently. So there's another thing. How old is it, Steph?
Ooh,
I've never seen one of them except for the ones you've shown here.
So maybe 2012, I think.
Oh, so it's about 15, coming up to 15 years old.
Oh,
I wonder how much they are now. I bet they're a fortune now, them on the secondary market.
Yeah, I think they're over 1,000 now.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you had to get a statue like that, Georgie, who would you get? What character would you get?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, I've got a sideshow in the other room. I've got a Grogu sideshow in the other room.
Yeah, that's a nice one too. The Grogu one's lovely. Yeah.
But I mean, the thing is, the animated work so well in statues like that, don't they? Because everything's that much more sort of exaggerated. Whereas if you had like a a true human, as it were. Not that she's not a true human, of course. I mean,
you don't find many true humans looking like that.
No, you really don't. You really don't. I mean, Malaya Hot Toys are fantastic, so they're sort of up there with.
It was a bit weird though. I've got to admit, it was being a male as well, and you saw her, and you thought, "Whoa, look!" But you're looking at a cartoon. You know what I mean? Brilliant. That's a great moment in the film during the song when she pauses. You can hear a guy say, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
Maybe very funny, TJC, very funny. I can balance that much. That's Georgie. That's your fault, Georgie, making that bloody song. Great stuff, ladies. Thoroughly enjoyed this. I did. Absolutely brilliant. So there you have it, lads. There is Steph and Georgie's top 5. Brilliant. So is there anything that's in your top 5 that you've done tonight that you thought, oh, maybe I should have put that in and so forth? Because I'm well impressed with your top 5 and you want to be mentioned. So what missed the cut? I'll say that. What missed the cut?
I've got a San Diego Comic-Con reaction figures exclusive, which is Roger Rabbit and Judge Doom. And Judge Doom is in his toon sort of look, and Roger has like his eyes popping out. That's quite a special piece.
Wow.
I just missed it.
What about you, Georgie?
Steph bought her lounge fly out. Mine would have been one of my other lounge flies, which is my Muppet one. Stu bought me that, and I just wear it nearly all the time. So
I say this is the Des situation, because Des always said that when he came on, if he came on again, his top 5 would be completely different. Do you think yours would be too?
Yeah, because my collection's still growing. I'm just a baby in the collecting game, so I think it would definitely be different in a couple of years' time, I think.
Yeah. It is easy to pick more than 5. It's really hard to pick 5.
Yeah.
Because in a way, we love everything, don't we, really? In a way, it's like, and that's why I wanted to make this different than Tubtham, because Tubtham is like stuff you don't really have, stuff in your wardrobe, but you put down, but you can't get rid of, and that kind of thing. But no, absolutely brilliant. I'll just get down to it. We've done 2.5 hours. That's how fast it's gone. I could have talked to you two all night. So absolutely brilliant, both of you. Fantastic picks. Awesome show tonight. Honestly, I think everyone enjoyed it. Look at this. Everybody's enjoying it. Brilliant. Yeah, even my mum, look at that. Brilliant show, girls. Great stuff. Amazing top 5. Great show. Before I go, I'd just like to thank, I've got it right here, Adam and Des, D-Tim and Connor, Our Cy and Delvian, Jesse VTR, Keith Guppy and Only One, Andy and Jeffers, Gary Moore Scuba, Stu and Martin, Scott Whitehouse, Luke Reynolds, Steph and the lovely Georgie, and everyone for watching. You've made this brilliant. I've absolutely loved doing top 5. And I'm definitely going to carry it on. So if anyone's watching on the replay or in there and you want to come on the top 5, just write to me. Just say, I'd love to have you on the top 5. But it wouldn't be a show without people like yourselves coming on, or people in the chat watching. So thank you so much, because I was nervous about doing it, because usually I do it with either our Cy or Matt and Tez. Do you see what I mean? So for me to do it on my own, but people like yourselves make me, honestly, you've made it worth it. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate it. Okay. Anything else to say before we go, girls? Got anything to say before we go?
Just thank you for having us. And it's been a fantastic evening. It's been fun.
No, I generally mean it. It's like I said at the start of this, I don't look at you two as Stu and Martin's wife. I look at you two big parts of our community. I always have done. Do you know what I mean? So it's, thank you for coming on to our show. Georgie, anything coming up? Pub quiz coming in. It's Sunday.
Yeah, plugging other people's boodahs. Yep. Sunday. I don't know what else he's got going on. I haven't really got anything else going on, other than maybe convincing Steph to do something at some point, maybe.
Oh, you see.
Bit of a chitty chat.
Yeah,
yes,
you should do something on your lounge flies or something like that. I'd watch that. Yeah. Brilliant.
Yeah.
Fantastic finale to an incredible series. Great show. Yeah, everyone's loving it. Look at our side giving me the violin because I got a bit soft. I tell you what, I can't say anything, can you? Absolutely brilliant. Thank you so much. And we'll see you all again soon. Say goodnight, girls.
Good night.
See ya.
Take care. Bye.